This is Snake. Can you hear me? Good. The mission is simple. Put your geek pants on and infiltrate Foxhound. If you need backup, contact Ken and Chris on their codec frequency. Ready? Snake out.
Whoa! There it is. There it is.
Finally on a couch now.
On a couch.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, on a couch.
Lounging.
Allowing,
looking a little bit more relaxed.
Allowing everyone to see our legs and our fun socks.
I just have white socks.
You got white socks.
With gray on the bottom. So nothing fancy.
It's not bad.
Nothing fancy.
It's better than just white.
I'm a white sock guy, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm a white sock guy for work.
I'm a white sock guy, period.
I was always a white sock guy until I read that quote that life's too short to wear boring socks. I was like, I love that quote.
Fair enough. But my argument would be,
Nah.
You're mostly wearing shoes.
Well, that's true, especially if you're American, because then you wear your shoes in the house.
Not everywhere,
No?
but yeah.
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 I've always found that strange.
Yeah, because like growing up, like even at the point where, well, actually no, towards the end when I was living in that house by myself, we wore shoes in the house.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you guess you did, eh?
Yeah.
Near the end.
Towards the end we would, yeah, just because.
Who cares?
At that point, yeah, it was,
who cares?
Who gives a fuck, right?
Who cares?
But yeah, I always thought it was kind of like when you would watch like TV shows. And they would just walk in the house.
Mm-hmm,
and you're always just like, oh, well, it's a TV thing. And then, of course, as you get older, you realize that's an American thing. And you're like, oh. Weird. And also, you're like, but what? Like, why would you?
But is it a Canadian thing, too, in larger cities that we don't know about?
I don't know. I don't think so. I know, like, I know some places, like, there's, I can't remember what subsect of the Asian culture, but, they're like me where they wear slippers in the house.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And they'll actually have like loaner slippers for guests to wear.
Yeah, like right at the door.
Like right at the door. And I'm
Which
like, that's
so
actually
cool.
a pretty good system.
That's so cool.
You know? So that would be something that like...
Does the guest take the slipper home or?
I don't think so. Because then obviously the cost of the slipper eventually, like you have to budget
quite
for that
high
like, on a yearly basis or stop entertaining.
I'd love for you to come over, but I have no spare slippers.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now.
Exactly. Speaking of coming over, hey, Geek Pantsers. I know this room looks a little bit different, but it is still the same place. It is still Kenneth and it's still Chris.
Trust us. I was trying to think of a studio name. This is going to be the studio. We should have a studio name, shouldn't we?
Wouldn't it just be Geek Pants Studios?
I mean, yeah, but I was thinking about
GSP.
The Pocket.
Oh, the Pocket.
Hey,
I like that.
Geek Pants, The Pocket. We're in the pocket.
We're in the pocket. Yeah, I like it. Good job.
Is that good?
Good job. I approve.
Well done. You got no safe, Vedic. 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Fadique.
Fadique.
Pronounce your name however I like.
I think you've only been in the pocket 4 or 5 times.
I have to say this before we get into the one big like shit topic that we have to talk about.
Yeah, we got a couple of things to touch on before we. I know what the shit topic is.
Yeah.
Boy, do I know what the shit topic is.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, we are going to be talking about Ant-Man 3 or Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania because we don't do numbers anymore.
Is it Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 or is it Ant-Man 3 or
what?
No, it'd be Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, really?
Well, technically, yeah, it would be Ant-Man and the Wasp 2 and then Ant-Man 3, but it is officially titled Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I've just been calling it Quantumania.
Which is fun to say.
QM, as you will.
So we are going to be talking about that. But, and then, of course, the shit topic we'll get to in a moment. But the first thing I want to get to right away is I can't wait for the new Punisher to come out. I'm like,
Man,
when is it next week? Is it the week after?
I'm so happy this room's almost done because the Punisher's right there beside you, and I'm
Man,
diving into it ASAP.
I can't wait for you to start reading it so that we can talk about it because
Yeah.
oh man, it is crazy bonkers. But I'm itching for that. I'm itching for that big time. Not so much Daredevil, but I'm reading Daredevil just to round it out, right? To see where it ends.
Yeah.
But the reason why I bring this up is because so first and foremost, Born Again is going to be filming soon. It's starting.
I thought it was already going.
No,
No?
it's starting now. So now Daredevil Born Again has just started filming, so that's awesome. And then on top of that, they released I saw a screenshot of the Elektra Daredevil Legends figure.
Yes.
Holy
the Elektra look awesome.
wow.
They should release a Daredevil beside though with the beard.
I agree. Do that
And then do the
with that
Punisher.
black
That should be a
costume.
whole run.
Exactly.
That should be a whole line of Marvel
do
Legends.
Suit Ares with the
Yeah,
friggin'
yes.
helmet. Oh
Yeah,
man.
who would the creative figure be?
The creative figure could be the Hand Demon
Oh, the Hand Demon.
that they're trying to resurrect.
Yep.
Yeah, that I would say would be the. Although I still have to say kudos for guessing Beast Boy for the Titans creative figure.
Well, I mean, I was thinking like villain seems pretty obvious.
Well, that's why I
and the fact that they hadn't announced Beast Boy yet, I was just like, what if it's like a giant version of Beast Boy?
Well, you were right.
In, like,
and
monster
it
form.
looks awesome.
It looks awesome, and
they're
releasing a normal Beast Boy in Walmart only.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like a normal size Beast Boy.
Those Walmart toys you showed me, like the DC Superpowers line.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I was gonna go for the Nightwing, and then I
Yeah.
was like, nah, you know what? I don't really. I mean, it's one of those where I'm like, it'd be all right to have as a gift.
Yeah.
If someone gifted that to me, hint, then then I'd be okay. But for me to spend money on that, I was like, that's a bit much. Like don't get me wrong, it's a Nightwing thing, but it's not like I need everything a Nightwing, right?
Right.
You know, like that Savage Dragon toy that you got me.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I got that, I was like, holy shit, the articulation on this thing is incredible. Like toe articulation,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
That's right. His toes moved.
And finger articulation to hold guns and stuff. I was like, man, that's crazy. So the new Nightwing coming out, crazy articulation. I still think I'm gonna get that Mafex one, or keep an eye on it and see if I can find it. Because that one is awesome, and it comes with the charisma sticks, right?
Yep.
Whereas this one does not. But either way, I can't wait for that toy to come out, right? But then to get that one, you're like, okay, cool, but you know,
no, I hear you. I think it's more of a nostalgia thing, right? Because Superpowers was the line when we were kids.
Yeah, and it is. It totally
was
is
the line.
I had quite a bit of those ones.
Oh God, I had so many. My Uncle Roger sold them at his store for some reason.
Yeah,
he had them all hanging up, and I go in there and just like pick them.
I remember I had Superman, Batman, Robin, Joker, Penguin, Lex Luthor, like Power Suit Lex Luthor, Hawkman, Green Lantern, Dr. Fate. I had the cape for the longest time. What else I had? I had Wonder Woman.
I had Red Tornado.
Yeah, that's right. You had Red Tornado.
Did
you have Brainiac?
No, but I had Martian Manhunter.
Yes, you had Martian Manhunter. That's right. That's right. I also had, I think his name was the Golden Pharaoh.
Oh,
he had like the wings.
They had so many weird characters in that line.
Well, because the show they introduced characters, and some of the characters they introduced that were created specifically for the show because they couldn't have, like, I think it was Black Vulcan was who Golden Pharaoh was supposed to be, but they couldn't have this character called Black Vulcan on a kid show. There was some sort of reason behind it.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
Hawkman, I had Hawkman.
Yeah, Hawkman. Hawkman was an awesome one because like the wings were textured.
Yeah.
They were really cool.
They had like a lot of
surprising amount of detail.
The capes were fabric.
Yeah, they clipped on the neck. They
clipped on, but it was just cool. Like play with Superman, he has a fabric cape.
Batman and Robin, same thing. They all had fabric capes.
Joker. Remember the Joker?
Joker was awesome. What what else?
God, that was an
I
awesome
think that's
line.
all that I have, but I remember just being like floored by, and like later on when you grow up and you're like, that's a fucking huge line.
Yeah.
And then in comparison to the Secret Wars line with Marvel, like their first foray into it,
Mhm.
and it was just like the articulation was the legs so that they could do
The legs
this,
did this.
and the arms could do this, and
Yep.
the heads could do this, and then that was
That was
it.
it.
And yet, the superpowers line, they had articulation here sometimes. It
Yep.
depended on the character. Like Superman was like this, but all their knees bent.
Yep.
So you could do some cool stuff there, and they might have some like punching action or something. It was fucking crazy.
God, man. We could do a whole episode talking about that line.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, so that Elektra, but I agree with you. It should be a whole line. Elektra,
It should be.
Daredevil,
Why wouldn't you?
Punisher. Imagine Punisher, like looking at that cover now.
Yeah.
And that art, the more you look at it, once you read the story, the skull makes sense.
Okay.
Because I remember we shit all over that skull. And we're like, we can't use the skull.
My first thought was, they're fucking doing this because of the riots and shit.
Right, but then they change it to a demon skull. And you're like, this
it's
doesn't...
still a skull.
But everything else around that suit looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like the padding on his arms and the padding on his legs.
Mm-hmm.
And I always liked it when the artists would tie the skull's teeth into the belt.
Yeah, I love that.
The combat belt, and I was like, or utility belt. That's the word I'm looking for. I always thought that was a cool idea, but what they've done with this, but then the artist is amazing.
Yeah.
But what they've done with this is just super, super friggin' cool. Even like fingerless gloves. You're like, a little bit of ninja seeping into Punisher's attire. But yeah, I can't wait for you to read this book. So that's pretty much it. All of this preamble for Elektra. You're welcome, everyone.
Basically, that's what it comes down to. Elektra is coming out in a new figure.
Yeah. The only other thing I had before we got to the shit one was the stuff about Vince in WWE.
Oh,
yeah, because I had mentioned the Omos
wrestling
stuff, right?
Roundup.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
There you go. Because they, that's been the topic now.
Yeah,
the topic now is the
second. Figure this Omos thing is all Vince, right?
It is, but so the thing was that Triple H said this, I think maybe about a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, was that like Vince makes suggestions and Triple H will heed suggestions here and there. Mm-hmm. So it's not, they're trying to make it seem like he's not like all his fingers are in the creative. Yeah. And I don't think his fingers are in the creative as much as people want to say it is. Even in the Omos stuff, So I guess the original scenario was that it was going to be Lashley and Omos, which we've already seen, and it wasn't that great. And that's not a Mania match.
No.
Okay. So for them to pivot and have Lashley and Bray Wyatt go at it, I think actually is a smarter move because Lashley is almost untouchable now. Like he's almost in that Seth Rollins stage where maybe not untouchable, but almost in that bulletproof stage.
Okay.
Where he can eat losses and not lose too much of his steam. Right. Because he's that perennial, like just on the cusp of main event at any point in time, right? Mm-hmm. So, and they know they can grab him and throw him at the title. They can even give him a 3-month title run and it'll work. And then they can figure out what they want to do after that. And there's no issues. Same with Rollins. But Rollins has been in that stage for 1.5 years now, almost 2.
Rollins doesn't need to win ever again.
Everyone need to win ever again.
Everyone loves him.
And that gimmick is just paying off dividends for him.
So, as soon as Reigns loses those titles, he needs them again.
He's got to win something soon.
He needs a title.
But, I mean, there's so many people on the list, though. Like, Drew McIntyre is the one that I'm like, we got to push him at the top of those. Yeah. Like, yes, Cody Rhodes should have a decent reign, okay? But at the same time, he doesn't need a 2-year run.
No, and he doesn't need both belts.
They got split
those belts up ASAP.
I feel like he will win it and then literally go, I won both, but I only really want to defend one at a time. I don't think it's fair that both shows are subject to whatever. So I'm going to just... He's
going to give up the Universal because he wants the WWE one.
Yeah, he's giving up the SmackDown.
That's the one his dad wanted.
He's giving up the SmackDown one, so he's gonna take that Raw title and he's gonna give it a good go with that. And as far as who takes it on SmackDown, I mean, fuck, you could just throw it on Lesnar in the interim.
I mean, you could.
But anyway, so getting back to that, so it was McMahon's suggestion that they go Omos Lesnar, which I was like, I don't know about that one. But then, and then when they had MVP sell Lesnar on the match, I was like, okay, all right, you guys got me there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be. I think it'll just be one of those quick
It'll be
5-minute match.
It'll be an all right match.
It'll just be finisher match.
Yeah.
It'll be a standard, it'll be like Brock Lesnar and Goldberg.
But it's like, I want Omos to look scary. He is eating losses.
He's
losing to everybody, but also Lesnar's eating losses.
Yeah.
This is a match where you want both to win.
I actually want Omos to win.
Yeah.
And I want it to be decisive and maybe set up a little bit of a program. You know, I don't necessarily want Lesnar to be scared of Omos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want any of that. But give me more of what we saw at Elimination Chamber, where he couldn't beat Lashley. So he cheated. So he lost by disqualification, but he couldn't break, he wasn't passed out, he didn't tap, he couldn't beat. So I think it's similar situation. He couldn't beat Omos.
That was the perfect spot to bring Omos into the Hurt
Locker. Man, and the rest of the
Hurt Business.
He
could have came out, helped Lashley take out friggin' Lesnar. That sets up the Omos Lesnar match.
Yep. But whatever. I mean, okay, fine. I actually do like that they had Omos challenge him. I think that was great. I think it was a smart move because it made Omos look like he's got a little bit more balls.
I just would have put a little more time behind it. Because honestly, Omos and Lesnar at WrestleMania could be like Hogan, Andre.
I agree that there could have been a little bit more timing. Yes, for sure. A little bit more time. So that way we could sprinkle a little bit more.
At least have them in the fucking Rumble match together.
And also behind the scenes, have Omos running the ropes. And working with a couple of different guys.
Which he might have been doing because he's been off the air for a while.
Right. And I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also think they shouldn't take him off TV to do that.
Yeah.
They should keep him on while he's doing it. Because he doesn't have to wrestle all the time. And if he's going to be on and they want him to wrestle, do a quick squash match. Like, Gable can eat it hard and not lose anything.
Yep.
Although, interestingly enough, they are talking about possibly splitting those two up. And having Gable become more of a serious wrestler.
Okay.
And Otis obviously being a joke wrestler like he's been his entire career, but of course aligning himself with the Maxine male model or whatever. Yeah, the Triple M. Which, okay, fine. I mean, that guy is hilarious, so he'll make it work. But apparently the two of them are like, I don't know. Because they become really good friends.
Yeah. And there's so little tag teams.
Right, exactly. And they've got a ton of chemistry, a surprising amount of chemistry.
They really do.
Because when they first got hooked up, I was like, well, I mean, they got really nothing going.
That was exactly my thing. This is just, hey, you and you.
Exactly. And if it works, great. But if it doesn't, they can split up and that's that. So they've really settled into their own. But, I mean, that match with Cody Rhodes, that was Rhodes' request. He wanted to work with Gable.
Really, eh?
He wanted Gable to come to AEW.
Oh,
so he was on his short list.
Yeah.
So getting back to Vince and Omos. So Brian Alvarez, again, one of my go-to voices for wrestling. He said, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, it does kind of look like that. But the way to know, and this is, as soon as he said, I was like, yep, this is perfect. The way to know when Vince is fully back is when they announce stuff in advance, and then it doesn't happen.
Right.
Because Triple H announces matches in advance.
Yeah.
And then happens. For the most part, those matches happen. Like the Bayley Cage match was the only one that didn't happen.
Because of time.
Because of timing.
Yeah.
Things just got out of control and they had to eat that one up. So that's fine. But when it's last minute, we don't know what the hell's going on.
It's the kind of bullshit that made Sasha Banks and Naomi leave.
They announced 4 matches, and then you watch Raw, and it's like none of those matches happen. They don't even talk about those matches because 5 minutes before air, Vince was like, "Here's a brand new script." Ah!
Yeah,
like, oh, cool, that's awesome that you did that, great. And then of course you have to tell some of the staff, "I know we told you to be here, but you can just hang out in catering because unfortunately, we've got nothing for you." And that's like, cool, cool,
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, Vince is still Triple H's father-in-law.
He's also he's on the he's back.
He's
so
on the board, but I mean, like, he's not in creative, but he's still going to talk to his son-in-law.
But also, if he wanted to, he could be in creative. He could be in
He
creative
could be.
today if he
He
wanted
could
to.
be. But he's got to be looking at ratings and reviews and shit and going, well, he's doing a good job.
But this is one of the most arrogant guys ever, though.
Yeah.
Like, this is a guy that would, like, hurt people because they left. Like, he would hold a grudge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so and this is not, like, 70-year-old Vince. No. This is, like, 50-year-old Vince. Who was just like, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
You know? In some cases, I get it. Like, you know, if Rick Rude, right?
Right.
If Rick Rude, if he didn't die, he would have to have eaten shit to come back to WWE because of how he left, right?
Right.
Because he left in protest for Bret Hart, but because of the taping, he was on
both on one
Raw
night.
and Nitro on the same night. He's the only one that's ever done
Which
that.
Which is so messed up.
Which is hilarious. It's so funny. But that's the kind of thing where Vince would just be like, I fucking can't stand
How did that work?
It's because they were taping.
Yeah.
And they knew it. Like, WCW knew it. They were taping. I mean, what was it? They would
Nitro was live, right?
Yeah, Nitro was live.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's kind of where we're at now. I'm still kind of hovering around whether or not I'll be watching after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's tough because the programming has been consistently good to the point where like a bad Triple H show would be like an amazing Vince McMahon show, you know, which is a weird dichotomy where you're just like, this hasn't been a really good show. And then you have to sit there and go, yeah, but remember when you were hate watching Raw, when you were just like, oh my God.
Yep.
Ugh. Like, the only thing that's still like Vince style is the treatment of Charlotte.
Yeah.
You know, but to be fair, it's not like Triple H wasn't a fan of Charlotte to begin with.
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean,
you look at her NXT stuff, she was a focal point.
Yeah.
You know?
And end of the day, she is that damn good.
Yeah, but
she
also
just doesn't always need the title on her.
Yeah, like, lay off.
Yeah.
Like, have her do...
You can be good without a title on her.
Yeah. You know, look at Becky Lynch. She's lost the title to Belair and hasn't had it since. Yeah. Well, leave it at that for a while.
Or introduce secondary titles like we've talked about.
Exactly.
Speaking of titles of women, though, Becky Lynch and Lita in the tag teams.
It was bad to happen.
So I'm guessing it's going to be Damage Control against Trish, Lita, and Becky at one.
Which I called a while
at WrestleMania.
I called that a while.
Did you call it 3-3?
Yeah. Yeah. Look back in the texts. You'll see it.
Yeah.
Only because of...
Which is awesome.
Well, yeah. But
it's
only
so
because
awesome.
It was one of those, like, well, like, what are you going to do? Because you can't, especially now, you wouldn't have been able to drag out Becky and Bayley for that much longer, right? Because that would have meant it would have had to go to Elimination Chamber and then another, like, 6 weeks to get to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And so now if we include Lita and Trish... Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're both in great shape. They can both move, so.
Yeah, exactly. And
like,
also, it ticks boxes off for both Becky Lynch and Bayley.
Yeah.
Right? So.
And it ticks off their boxes of wanting legends to show up at this WrestleMania.
Yep.
Well, Stone Cold won't be there, but Lita and Trish are.
Finally, it ticks off the box of Bayley being able to be at WrestleMania and actually wrestle as opposed to being a fucking host.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, and hopefully it helps push like Becky and Bayley back up to the upper echelon where they should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, other than that, the only other thing I thought was kind of interesting was people were like, well, why isn't Naomi back on TV? Still injured.
Is she injured?
Shoulder injury, so she had some surgery. Yeah, so. No, I got another one actually. Sorry guys. One more. So I think for Naomi, I think it's best you hold her off.
Yeah.
Completely. As much as I hate to say it, take her, like, keep her out of WrestleMania, unless you do some sort of, like, if there's a Money in the Bank ladder match for women, or some sort of a battle royale, then you bring her in and you have her win.
Right.
I don't care about the match. But if that's the case, bring her in, have her win, because everyone will pop. They'll pop, they'll go nuts, she'll win, everyone will be happy, and then we can start reminding everybody how awesome Naomi was, you know?
Yeah, God, it's been almost a year now.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally, Matt Riddle. So Matt Riddle, I think he is. My theory is that he's quietly on his second or possibly third drug offense.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why they're holding off on
Yeah.
bringing him back. So, because his suspension would have been 60 days, it's been far beyond 60 days.
Yeah.
But I read somewhere that they're basically creative as nothing for him at this point. And I think it's kind of the same deal. Don't bring him back until after WrestleMania, because what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, like when he left, he was upper mid card on the cusp of main event.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes, once Randy was gone and he finished up his feud with Rollins, he regressed like a giant step backwards. Because I don't think Triple H likes him, or at least likes his character. Because he went right back to stupid stoner guy.
Yeah, right away.
Immediately after Rollins. And I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So, but it might have been just one of those where they're like, okay, well, we'll do this just in the meantime, but then eventually, like, we gotta take him off. He's got to go into rehab or whatever.
Yeah.
So whatever the case may be. So I think that would be a smart move, is keep him off, and also because then it just keeps pressure off him. Because, like, it's easy to sit there and say, like, well, he went to rehab, so, yeah, sure, put him in a high-profile match in Mania.
Yeah.
It'd have to be some level of profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't just throw him in Elias in a tag match on the kickoff show.
Yeah.
Right? So, give him more time to get used to living life without being on drugs, right? Or whatever the hell he was in for. But it was obviously drugs.
Yeah.
It wasn't just weed.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way it was just weed.
No, it's drugs.
You know, it was hardcore drugs.
Yeah.
But so I think it's better for him to do it that way, whether he sees that or not.
Yeah.
Right. So that would be it. I would say, for me personally, and I'm a huge fan of Riddle, don't bring him back until after WrestleMania. And you know what? Even do that slow burn build back up again.
Yeah.
To kind of test the waters and see how he's handling things.
Maybe wait until closer to when Randy's ready to come back, if he comes back. Or
if he can come back, bring in Riddle first and slowly start to, like, have him just wrestle matches and cut promos and tweak his character a bit, and then start doing Randy vignettes and have him be like super pumped that his buddy is coming back and his mentor and all this, and then build towards the eventual, like, have them reunite, have them tag, and have them win the titles. Do the story you were going to tell this year. Do it next year.
Yeah, you can push that a whole year right to next WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's about it for me, bud.
Oh, the go from Ant-Man is an old Native American ceremony. It's turd and shrooms.
Okay. I'm not sure I understand.
Amos Fulker.
But thank you for leaving it.
Oh, the goo.
Oh,
the goo from Ant-Man is an old Native American ceremony. It's turd and shrooms. Oh, the goo. I was reading that as go.
That was
okay.
All Kenneth's reading. Okay.
All
cool.
Cool. Right on.
That's legit. I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Legit.
That's good.
That's legit. So the shit conversation.
Yeah. I made one for this too. What the fuck is going on with Suicide Squad? Kill the Justice League.
I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of, like, evil Superman. Okay.
No.
But at least, like, in that trailer, they immediately establish that, you know, he's under Brainiac's control.
Yep.
And, you know, like, the Justice League are all under, it's not just Superman, it's all the Justice League. So the only people left to help save the world is the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Or Task Force X, if you want to be technical. And that's the best best group to do it, because if they die, well, who cares? They're
who cares?
Criminals anyway,
yeah.
Right? That cinema trailer that we saw looked incredible.
The very first one?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Looked awesome.
I was in.
The voice work, I was like, okay, all right, sign me up.
Conroy's back. You're
just like, oh, sign me up. And then, like, then they don't say anything about anything.
No, just disappeared
until right before launch. And then you're like, oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that game.
Yeah.
You know, and you're thinking, okay, I wonder if it's going to be like a quietly awesome game like Midnight Suns, which for the style of gameplay, apparently it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just you have to be in that style of
You
gameplay,
got-
that strategy-based
which I'm not
RPG
into.
stuff. And I didn't even realize it was more like a tactical RPG with a loot grind mechanic to it. But I'm like, I might be tempted to check it out because
Yeah.
the people that are playing it are like, it's awesome, right? You know, but it's also not for everyone.
Yeah.
But okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah.
But out of all the games to base your game off of, Rockstar, seriously.
Rocksteady.
Or sorry, Rocksteady.
Rockstar only makes one game
That's right.
every decade.
And that's if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, because they might just
Yeah.
ride on re-releases. What?
Or Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 has been on 10 years now.
Yeah.
I remember we were didn't we play that on your
Yeah.
the night before your wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You, me, James, and
We
Trevor.
did. No, it was just the three of us that
That's
night.
right. It was the
We
three
played
of us.
that the night before, and it's our 10-year anniversary this year.
Yeah.
And it's on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X now.
But so
it's crazy.
it's this weird thing where these game companies, they build up all this like goodwill, right? So Rocksteady,
Mhm.
came out with Arkham Asylum.
Yep.
Incredible. Like, holy shit.
Yep.
Then followed up with, in my opinion, the best of the series for me personally, in terms of story, gameplay, the whole
Me too.
works.
Arkham City.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Now, Montreal, Ubisoft, was it Montreal?
Yeah, Eidos Montreal.
Eidos Montreal did the vastly underrated Arkham Origins. A couple of things where I'm just like, it's dumb that you would have these, like some of the stuff you find later on in Arkham Asylum that you can now use in Origins when it's a like first year Batman. Doesn't make any sense, but you're like, whatever, fine.
Yeah.
But there was some cool stuff there. And then the gameplay, for the most part, in Arkham Knight is incredible. And the story, really good. Story is actually quite good, with a couple of like shitty things. Like, obviously, the whole Jason Todd stuff. You're just like, you could just say it's Jason Todd.
Mm-hmm.
You could just say it's Jason Todd, and that you're basically doing the Arkham City or Arkham Asylum version of Jason Todd's story with Red Hood. Just do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Don't tell me that it's going to be a different character altogether. The Arkham Knight is going to be a different character altogether, but heavily teases going to be Jason in the trailers. Yeah. But anyway, aside from the tank battles
that are,
which if you liked,
there's a
great.
million of them. Yeah.
Yeah, if you liked it, great, but they were pretty rough to get through. After a while, I was like, oh my god, I don't even want to play this because of this. But I did. I beat it, and I'm glad I did. But for them to go from that and cancel the rumored Superman game, and then do this, and then go. So Avengers from Squaresoft, or just Square, sorry, now, was a dumpster fire upon release. Let's just do that. Mm-hmm. Let's just copy that, like copy paste that, and throw that out.
Yep.
I get that games want to make money and the companies want to make money. I get that. Okay. Yeah. But I've said before, like, if you want really make money, release a finished game for $70, $80, and then that's it.
That's it.
And then, like, your DLCs, you can charge whatever you want for DLC, depending on or seasons pass. You can still do season pass.
Mm-hmm.
People buy them, so do that.
Yep.
But release a finished game first and foremost. But second of all, if you're gonna follow any games, like any game, find one that was successful, that didn't crater. Like Square and Marvel's relationship is.
Yeah, well, I mean, Guardians was really good, but I don't know if they got anything going on after that.
Yeah, but even then, I feel like Guardians was only good because it was different from Avengers.
Right.
Like it was one of those,
hey, is it really good, or is it just better than that garbage?
Yeah, exactly. Is it just like slightly better than that? Like, and don't get me wrong, I haven't played Guardians. Yeah. I wanted to because it looked awesome.
It looks amazing.
It looked really cool. I heard it's a lot of fun. Like, the reviews were okay. Like, they were, all right. But again, if you're dealing with Avengers, which You wanted to like so badly.
So bad.
I remember like the way you were heartbroken.
I
almost.
pre-ordered it.
I know.
The collector's edition. And then I canceled it after I played the beta testing.
I remember that because you were just like, every level is exactly the same.
Yep.
It doesn't matter who I play as.
Yep.
It plays exactly the same. And this is the same garbage. And my favorite part is that they're like, every character has to have guns.
Guns and fucking...
And jetpacks.
Jetpacks.
So they fly around and they shoot. And then you're like, okay, well, like some of it I can
like,
get.
King Shark could just straight up be jumping Hulk style up to fucking things.
Yeah, like if you want to make weapons so that you can constantly look for loot and collectibles to craft and make, like, whatever, do whatever you want. Do that, but like make it make sense.
Yeah.
One of the characters' name is Captain Boomerang. Why the fuck would he have guns? Why wouldn't he have just boomerangs? Like, if I didn't know the character, I would assume his last name was Boomerang.
Yeah.
But I would tell you right now, if you say, hey, guess what his weapon was? I would go, well, it's got to be a boomerang.
Yeah.
Why would he use anything other than a boomerang? And that's perfect because then you could do different boomerangs. You could do a homing boomerang.
Yep.
You could do exploding boomerang. You could do a stealth, an invisible boomerang. They can't see it, but you can see it. You could do a one where you can control where it goes, right? All things that you can find within the game or hide behind a paywall, right? Like, do whatever. Boom. Harley Quinn?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. You want to say she uses guns? Okay. But why wouldn't she use a giant fucking hammer that she's almost exclusively shown to have, aside from the movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. But sure, okay, fine. Deadshot, obviously.
Well, yeah. He's the one that should have a jetpack and guns.
Obviously. King Shark? Why not just put gauntlets on him?
Yeah.
If you really want to gamify it, put gauntlets on him and different styles of gauntlets with different bullshit stat increases, right? To keep you playing and keep you gaming and keep you even paying money. But instead, they went guns for everyone. And okay, you know what? Some of the characters, sure, give them a jetpack. But not every character needs a jetpack. Like King Shark, he should be jumping around.
Exactly.
He could jump distances.
Jump, grab a wall. Jump, grab a wall. Get to a guy, rip him in half.
Yeah, eat him.
Move on.
Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter.
Doesn't matter.
But Harley Quinn, you could put a jetpack on her. I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't argue that.
That's fine.
Deadshot, same thing.
Yeah.
Hell, any of the human characters that can't fly, okay, fine. I'll accept it. But
the fact that all four play identical.
And that's the other, that's one of those two.
And this is the Arkham world. Like, everyone thought that this was going to follow Arkham, where it looks more like Rocksteady's copying Gotham Knights.
Well, and that's, I think, part of it, too, is because, like, Gotham Knights was supposed to be the Eidos Montreal Arkham Knight follow-up.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be that. So, and it was supposed to be something similar to Gotham Knights in the sense that you were playing the characters that were introduced in the, so you'd be playing as Nightwing and you'd be playing as Robin and Batgirl. Okay, so, and Red Hood. So, yeah, sure, you get that, but then they went,
Yep.
Which, and again, I'm not going to shit on Gotham Knights because it looks like a lot of fun. It just looks like one of those games where if you didn't know it wasn't part of that Arkham stuff, then you'd be really disappointed.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that at least in the lead up to that, they went, it's not Arkham. It's similar, but it's more of an action RPG. There's crafting and there's different, and you're like, okay, thank you for the heads up. I appreciate that. Suicide Squad, they just went, oh yeah, the game's coming out tomorrow. And I went, by the way, it's kind of like this.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, good thing I didn't pre-order.
Oh yeah, and they're just talking. We got a battle pass, and everyone's just like, fucking battle pass?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, of course.
That's why I hated Avengers.
But
they have shot themselves in the foot with something that could have been excellent.
It should have been excellent.
I had no reason to be excited for a Suicide Squad game.
No.
But when they were like, yeah, Rocksteady's doing it. Kevin Conroy's in it.
Yeah.
I was
check. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
in.
It's like, it's like Project Red. And,
Project Red.
Well, no, what the Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, CD Projekt, right?
CD Projekt, yeah. CD Projekt. It's same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like a sci-fi, cyberpunk, futuristic, open world, RPG. And if you like The Witcher, 3 especially, you're gonna love this. I was like, check, 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 check. Like they're checking off boxes I didn't even know I had. I was like, huh, wow,
I'm in.
wow.
Yeah.
And then it was like, wait a minute, oh my god! And it's been 2 years now, and that game still like no one's sitting there going like, okay, now play the game.
Yeah.
If you've waited now,
Guy
play
my
the
works
game now.
today goes, you really got to play it now. It's good now. Everything's fixed. I was like, no, at launch was the time for it to be good and fixed. When I spent $90 at launch for it.
Yep.
I should not have to spend $90 for a broken game and wait 2 years for it to get good.
Especially from that company. Like if it was like an EA game.
Yeah.
If you did that on an EA game, I'd be like, Kenneth,
Have you not learned from now?
That is on you.
Plus it's EA.
You know?
It's going to be like $20 next month.
Yeah, exactly. Or the company that does Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah.
That's another one too.
Ubisoft.
Like, dude, yeah, Ubisoft. Be like, oh yeah, you bought it at launch. Well, that's on you.
Idiot. Yeah.
You know, like I don't know what to tell you, but in this case, like CD Projekt, you're like, well, why wouldn't like not necessarily completely like finished, because like Witcher 3 didn't come out completely glitch free.
No,
there was glitches and there was things, and they fixed it up.
There.
But it wasn't like, well, if you bought the PS4 version, you got a broken game. Like you got 100% broken game. It was empty.
Yep.
All that screenshots that you saw were strictly PS5 and pushing the limits for that point in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were totally fine. And they're like, well, you know, you could upgrade to when you upgrade to the PS5, you know, you can get that copy. It's like, yeah, but I shouldn't have had to.
Yep.
You know?
No Man's Sky was the same way.
Although No Man's Sky made good
at launch.
No Man's Sky made good after the fact, though.
Yeah, well, they did after, but again,
same idea.
I'm so tired of these. They never pulled this shit back in the old days. You got a game, and that was your game.
That's it.
You got one shot.
Yeah.
To make a good game.
I remember when the first time they said something about like downloaded content, and it was like, what?
Yeah, what?
Like, what do you mean? The game's the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, now we've got like an extra level. You're like, okay.
Cool.
All right, how much is it? $40? No thanks.
For an extra level.
But you know, people bought it anyway.
Oh, I bought so much digital content.
That's the thing that always like irks me the most is like, as much as I like hate it and I hate it and I hate it, it's like people still put money down. They still pre-order and they still, you know, and of course the game companies are getting smarter and they're saying like, hey, if you want to report about our game, better say something good, because we don't have to continue to do this, right?
Yep.
So you've got the entire industry, like the journalistic side, that's just like, game's amazing.
Yeah.
I've never played a better game in my entire life.
I'm going to hell.
Thank you for the money and, you know.
Yep.
So yeah, like, I mean, I guess the only saving grace is now it's a game I'm never going to play. I'm never going to give my money to them. So at least that's the saving grace. Like, I feel bad for the ones that pre-ordered this, especially because it's the same situation with Cyberpunk 2077. Like, you pre-ordered that, and I wasn't like, I can't believe you pre-ordered that game. Yeah. No, I was like, well, yeah, of course you pre-ordered.
I pre-ordered it like 2 years prior to launch.
Yeah.
Like after the E3,
that's
where they
one
showed
of
the first
few
trailer.
companies that I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Because knowing that company, you're going to get like a close to finished game.
Yeah.
This is going to be like a 90% finished game or 85 to 90. And then by the end of that first year, you'd be like, all that shit that was fucked up is fixed, and this is great. I'm loving it. Oh man, this is a great game, you know. Whereas like now I don't feel so bad being cheap with buying games, because it's like my rule now is I don't think I'm ever buying a game at launch unless it's like an RPG, you know.
Yep.
Although on a side note, Final Fantasy 15 looks and sounds incredible.
Yeah.
I saw like one of the guys, I think Final Fantasy Union on YouTube does a whole bunch of Final Fantasy videos, right?
Yep.
And he got a hands-on for about an hour with the game. And he said it's awesome. And I trust his judgment. And even like the way they described like the action combat and all that stuff, the way that they're describing it actually reminds me of Final Fantasy 12 in the sense that like in Final Fantasy 12 you had gambits that you could set up where your character would automatically hit like heal himself up if he got below a certain percentage,
Okay.
automatically cast whatever, attack the leader, things like that. Stuff that like you programmed as you went, so it was automated, but you were still playing. And yeah, it's turn-based in a sense, right? So they have actually gotten away from turn-based for quite some time, right? So with those explanations and stuff like that, but also saying like, yeah, sure, you'll be able to do those things, but it doesn't necessarily make it easier.
Right.
It just makes things like you still have to think about it. And you still have to fight. And you still have to do this and stuff like this. So I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it at launch though.
No.
And I trust Square for the most part, except for Avengers.
Yeah.
But
when it comes to their RPG, like it comes to the Japanese side of Square, they know what they're doing over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the North Americans, bunch of morons.
Yeah, money grubbing. Like, look, and I'm not against making money. Make money. Do it. Make money.
That's what you're in the business for.
And I mean, again, like I said,
but you can make money without taking advantage of your fan base too.
And also, like the mentality shouldn't just be like, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
People are buying shit games, like unfinished games, so let's just keep doing it. It's just like, no. And also, don't give me a firm, like, don't say the game's coming out in 2025 when it should be coming out in 2026 or 2027.
Yeah.
Just don't even give me a release date until you know for sure. Until you know for sure it's coming out, at least in and around that.
Yeah.
Because if you announce it 6 months from now and then something happens and you go, okay, we got to push back a little bit or whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
what Nintendo does. Look at the sequel to Breath of the Wild. They finally showed it and they're like, coming out in May.
Yeah. It's not that hard.
Awesome.
Yep.
You didn't show anything until it was like 2 months away.
Yep.
Cool.
You told us it was coming out.
Yeah.
But you did tell us when.
Yep. Showed us nothing.
Yep.
Nice.
I don't even mind if you show me some trailers or some teasers and stuff like that. Like, that's fine. Like,
no dates.
Seed that interest, Dragon Quest 12.
Yep.
No release date. I know it's coming out. I know it's called Dragon Quest 12. And I know that they're going to be significantly changing things. It's probably going to be more action-based, which... But at the same time, there's a lot of HD 2D remakes, and there's games like Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of turn-based stuff that's coming out that I can sink my teeth into.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot coming.
And I'm also not against action RPGs, just so we're clear, because I got into Ys 8 specifically, and I love it, and I can't wait to play Ys 9. But Hitman Freelancer.
That fucking Freelancer, man.
Fuck, man. Well, I got
just when you thought you escaped the agents.
got past my second syndicate guy.
Really?
It was actually the sloppiest. It was so bad, because I told you had like six suspects, right?
Yep.
So in the 4, sussed it out, figured it out. You're the guy, right? This one, I sussed it out. I was like, yeah, it's for sure her, right? I knocked one guy out just to take him off the board, hit him, nobody found him, and I knew it wasn't him, but I took him off just to take him off the board. Her, I was like, I'm almost certain killed her, wasn't her. I was like, are you kidding? You lose money every time you don't kill the right person, but luckily nobody saw me, so they don't run away, right?
Right.
So then I was like, okay, well, so if it's not her and it's not that guy, it's for sure not this one guy. That leaves now 3, right? So I end up killing another one. Not him. And I was like, are you kidding? I'm like, oh my God. But luckily, the 2 people that I killed, they dropped phones.
Okay.
So they make a meeting, right? So with the guy that I killed, I was like, there's no way that this guy is not the meeting. So of course, when I made the meeting, as soon as I seen him move, I was like, it's him. It's totally him. So I still won. I still beat the syndicate, but not that cool Hitman style that you're hoping for. It was gross.
I'll go through all of you until I find the one.
It was gross. And like, as far as being stealth, like I was running around that map, like trying to follow them and stuff. Like I had a great disguise.
Yeah.
So nobody was like, but in game, you'd think like, isn't it weird that the hippo trainer is running around our map constantly? Because like when I play like Hitman regular style, I don't run like unless I know for a fact people can't see me, then I'll run. But even then, I'm thinking, but if I'm out of breath, like if it's real and I'm out of breath, they're gonna be like, that bald guy in the suit is out of breath all the time and he's sweating Is he running lots? Why is he running?
What's going on with this guy?
I try not to take anything. Like, I take the bare minimum. I
Yep.
take, like, the silenced, the gold baller. I take the lockpick and maybe some coins or something, right? Depends on the mission, but for the most part, that's what I take. And maybe the seeker, the tranquilizer, right?
Yep.
And then I don't run. Like, it's slow. It's like people that watch me, I'm like, you're gonna be bored out of your skull. Like, really? Because even that Miami run I did was one of the quicker runs, and that's still a long run that I showed you, right? This one, it's like, as soon as I can, I'll find a suit a costume to put on so that I can fucking run around and do whatever I need to do. But overall, that's great. But anyway, long story short, guys, with video games, like, stop pre-ordering. Just stop paying for broken shit, and eventually they'll have to change how they do things. The only reason why they keep doing it is because people still buy at launch.
Yep.
That's it.
I'm surprised Rocksteady's doing this.
That blew me away.
Because it doesn't even seem like it's one of those things where Warner's making them. It seems like it's Rocksteady.
But, like, why not do it with, like what Ubisoft, or not, like Eidos Montreal did.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we switched gears and we did this game. Still looks good. It looks like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, they hint that Dick Grayson's buying it, hilariously enough.
Oh, Dick.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
Not Tim.
Even though we talked about this, I was like,
yeah.
If he was buying it, like, the only argument I would make was how long he was, like, staunchly straight, right? But, like, even with Tim, I just finished the 6th issue, actually. Even with Tim Drake becoming bi, like, again, I'm fine, like, because you never know. Like, some guys are at 60 and they come out of the closet like, you know what? I'm super gay. That's just how it is. So none of that bothered me at all. But anyway, just,
Not giving me a warning for 20 years from now. Eh?
No. Well, you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gay right now.
Maybe. Gotta get it off the bucket list.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? But yeah, that's basically it. Like, I mean, yeah, it is on Rocksteady though. Like, they shouldn't have done it like this. Or if they, and the other part, they knew this was gonna happen. That's why they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
They didn't fucking say anything until the last second.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, yeah, the game's released, blah, 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 bullshit, this, bullshit, then you're just like, what?
Yeah.
What?
What did you just say?
You what?
That's all anyone noticed. Well, I noticed all the very mediocre gameplay. Okay.
But even the mediocre gameplay is another one too, where it's just like, what is going on?
It looks so fucking weird. It's like everyone's on platforms and you're just bouncing around the platforms killing guys.
It doesn't even look good.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, all the Arkham games looked incredible for that style.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I still look at Asylum and I'm just like, man, like, oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's a PS3 game.
You know, and then
that pushed the limits.
Or, well, City is also a PS3 game.
Oh yeah,
and that pushed the limits. Yeah. You know, and then like even like Arkham Knight is another one where you're just like, it just looked incredible. It played incredible.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like Jesus.
It's heartbreaking.
And now the next time Rocksteady comes out with a game, I'm not even gonna sniff at it.
Yeah.
I was like, what do I care?
Yep.
You know?
You killed a lot of your fuck, I don't know. Well, even Arkham Knight was kind of rough, right? Like a lot of people were a little sour from Arkham Knight.
The sourness was the dependence on the tank gameplay.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, like, I get it, like Rocksteady, they were like, well, you want to put it in so you're not just driving the Batmobile. So they wanted to make it combat based for that, which, okay, fine. But it literally was shoehorned almost into like every single thing. Yeah. So it was like I told you, where you fight, and then like there's one section where it's literally like you fight this, clear out all the bad guys, then you get into the Batmobile, and you use the thing to pull the stuff down so you can pull up an elevator. You go in the elevator, go down to the next level, and rinse and repeat. And that's just that part of the level. Then there's the specific tank battles, which are like, they were awesome, but after a while, when it was just like rinse and repeat, you're just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. And then the other part that really irked me was that there was like really no boss fights.
Oh, that's right.
There's really no boss fights.
And the boss fights were the best part of Arkham City.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I get it. It's, you know, it's kind of like a double-edged sword because, like, you play Arkham City.
Yeah.
And the boss fights are varied. Like, each boss fight is completely different. And then, of course, Mr. Freeze.
Oh, that Mr.
takes
Freeze.
the cake.
Fuck.
Oh.
That boss fight.
Oh. And even playing that on normal.
Yeah,
it's
hard.
Which threw me because, like,
yeah,
I didn't expect it, but like it's literally like you can't do the same thing twice. You have to constantly switch, and you have to hit him like 8 times or something like that. But even then, like, so all of that was super cool. And they Arkham Origins kind of suffered a little bit because, of course, they had to do similar stuff, right?
Yeah.
Deadshot was the most disappointing boss in that game, but Firefly was awesome. I don't know how much you played of it, but a lot of really cool boss fights in that one. But for them to, like, instead of at least trying to get as close to that as possible, they just went, a little bit of a cinema. It's like, that irked me more than the tank battles, more than anything. Because then at least, like, at the end of it, you could go like, whew, at least those boss battles, you know, like, at least there was something to that, you know. Well, the Deathstroke fight was my big complaint with Origins was the Deathstroke fight happened too soon.
Right.
It should have happened later on in the game because, like, what experience do you have dodging and blocking that fast with that character? I fucking died on him so many times, and like later on in the game, I would have still died, but I would have beaten him a lot quicker.
Yeah,
but. I don't know. For me, at this point, it's just like, what is going on, guys? Like, just, I get it. You want to make money, but come on. You can be ethical about it.
You could. Or not.
Yeah, well, moving forward, no.
Nah.
But that's it for me. I'm done with that rant. What do you guys think? Do you think that we should still continue buying games at launch? Or should we forgive all these companies and just say, hey, here's a couple of bucks?
No forgiving. No forgiving. And if I buy a game at launch and they pull the shit they do, no. Like, why would I go back? There is a part of me that wants to go and play Cyberpunk now that I have an Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
I do want to play it now. But then why would I go and do that and take away from these other developers I could be playing that may have actually put out a really good game right at launch?
Well, Ghost of Tsushima.
Bought that at launch.
Glitched the shit, right? Broken game right at launch.
Horribly broken.
Yeah. Oh, just kidding. It wasn't.
Yeah. No, it never froze or glitched once on me. It was a beautiful masterpiece from beginning to end.
And you paid top dollar.
Top dollar. Top dollar.
Weird.
Did not regret it.
Weird.
Mm-hmm. So every now and then, one of those developers comes through.
Well, it's only a matter of time before.
Not often.
They too go the way of the dodo.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna hit up Ant-Man in a minute, but first, Instaquestions.
Instaquestions.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. Here we go. How many stuffed animals do you own?
Stuffed animals do I own? Actually, I don't own any now.
No?
No.
I think I probably got about three or four. Two of them are like right from child. Like I still got my old Curious George.
I don't even have my original Kermit the Frog.
No.
Yeah, the one with the Velcro on the ankles and the wrists, where you could use it as a backpack that had the felt in the mouth chewed out. Because sad, when I moved out of my old house into my grandparents, it was so quick that I could only take so much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you left Kermit behind.
I left Kermit behind. I left the wool sock monkey that I had as well.
Okay, yeah.
I had a Superman doll as well that I left behind. Yeah, so that's
sad.
So I have zero. I had about maybe 5 or 6 at the time.
There you go.
It's really sad because at any point in time, if we were to have kids, it would have been nice to be like, hey,
this was mine.
This was mine.
Kid would be like, ugh.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
What the hell happened to this thing?
It's not a video game.
Your mouth is all chewed out.
It's like, you're a very angry and smart child. Baby, I should say.
Do you have any celebrity crushes?
Oh God, yeah.
I think I got too many to list.
Yeah.
I don't even.
It's almost easier to answer who I don't have a crush on.
At this point.
Like,
well,
I mean, if
I don't even. Yeah,
the answer is yes. The answer is yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a celebrity? Point me to someone who doesn't have a celebrity crush.
Yeah, like, I mean, to give you some names, like, I've had a crush on Scarlett Johansson since Ghost World.
Mm.
But I also had a crush on Thora Birch since Ghost World.
Yeah, Thor.
If we're talking like my first crush ever, Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
In Addams Family / Casper. I can't remember which one was first.
Oh, Christina Ricci was.
But in all
Addams
fairness, I was age appropriate for all these women when I started crushing them.
Exactly.
I grew
that
up
age
with them as they grew up.
Right. Now we're at that age where it's like I gotta look at an actress's age before I can say I have a crush on them. Fuck.
Well, I mean, now I think for the most part, you kind of have a good idea of their age.
Yeah.
For the most part.
There's
some where but also at the same time, it's I don't think of it as like crushing now. I think it more of it's like, yeah, she's attractive. She's a good actress, things like that. But yeah. So the answer is yes.
Like off the top of my head, Kate Beckinsale's probably the first one that comes to mind.
Oh yeah.
Especially in the underworld getup.
Yeah.
Woo!
But even now.
Yeah, even now.
You're like I know you're a celebrity, and of course you've got money and you've got access to a level of healthcare that I will never see.
Yep.
But are you a vampire for real?
Yeah, right.
Like you got your Keanu Reeves. I got a crush on Keanu Reeves. I'll say that.
Yeah.
For like if we're talking dude crushes, Keanu Reeves, I got a crush on.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Rudd, I got a crush on.
Well, I mean,
it's
fucking Paul Rudd. It's Paul Rudd.
That's right.
Who was looking at Alicia Silverstone and Clueless? I was looking at Paul Rudd.
I was also looking at Alicia Silverstone.
And also Alicia, and pretty much the entire cast.
Yeah.
There's a hot cast.
Yeah, because there was that other girl. I can't remember her name now, but...
there's Brittany Murphy.
Rest
in peace.
Sorry?
Rest in peace.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't really have a crush on her in that movie, but there was the other one, the other friend.
I don't want to say the black one, but how else do you say it?
I can't remember her name, but I always thought it was interesting because like she was also like one of the oldest people in the cast.
Yeah, she's gorgeous though.
Yeah. But
crush.
Yes.
I mean, I could look around this room with all my movies and be like, yeah, crush on there, crush on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 minutes to point out.
Well, I mean, I even had a crush on Elliot Page, before when he was
the artist formerly known as Ellen.
Yeah, the before.
Yeah, no, me too.
It's funny some of the when you think about it, some of the crushes you've had.
Anna Paquin. I always had a crush on Anna Paquin.
Not me.
Fly Away Home. That movie with the geese.
I know. I
was crushing hard on her.
Even in in X-Men, I'm not saying I thought she was ugly or any means. Not that matters because it's a preference anyway. But I wasn't like, oh wow.
That Alexander Daddio or Daddy.
Or
with the crystal blue eyes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I wouldn't say a crush, but I found her attractive.
She's very attractive.
Yeah.
No, that's a crush for me.
Gina Davis. I had a crush on Gina Davis.
I had a huge, yeah, especially in The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Oh yeah. Or what's the one where they're A League of Their Own?
Yes.
But I also had a crush on Lori Petty, who strangely enough was also in A League of Her Own. I had a crush on her
Rosie O'Donnell
in Tank Girl. That was when I had the biggest crush on her. Like
Tank
her
Girl?
and Tank Girl, I was like,
Tank Girl.
God damn, Lori Petty.
And Naomi Watts in that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those ones I always forget that she was in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that movie's great.
Fuck. Man, I wish I would have been more prepared for this one because I could struggle. There's too many.
We're getting too much though, because they're just saying, do you have any celebrity crushes?
Much. Oh, that's probably my most recent. Looking up in Mission Impossible, Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah. I definitely have a crush on her. That I can flat out say I have a crush on her because then it's like because of Rogue Nations, then it was like, oh, she's She's in this movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Like, you're in Dune? Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm watching Dune.
You know,
I'm watching
so
Sandworms too.
but
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I mean, technically, we could have just said yes, and then that's the end of the question, though.
We could
Because
have.
they didn't say, and who are they?
Right. There's no examples, please.
But
Yes. Next one.
yeah,
All
exactly,
right.
exactly.
Okay.
Too many to count, I guess, is the answer.
It really is. What's the stupidest thing that you thought as a kid?
Huh. Actually, you know what? The stupidest thing that I ever thought as a kid was that Superman was real.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay.
That was, and I say this because this is it's one of those where I'm like, oh my god, what a fucking story. But like, because like, you know, kids, like, they find out that Santa Claus is not real, right?
Yeah.
And you know, for me, it was worse because when I found out about Superman, this is how it was. Because I watched Superman. I was a huge Superman fan, right? And then I was watching a movie with my mom, and Christopher Reeve was in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said something like,
Oh, so you thought Christopher Reeve Superman was real? Like
yes,
that Superman?
yes, that's what
not
I mean.
just Superman in general.
No,
just
Superman. Yeah, sorry.
Superman.
Yes.
Okay.
I meant like Superman, Christopher Reeves, the
Christopher
motion
Reeve
picture
is Superman.
and
These are his
he's
real life adventures.
That's
okay.
right. That's
All
right. So I'm watching this movie, and I can't remember what it was. I think it was something back in time or something like that. It was like a period piece. But I remember distinctly, and I saw Christopher Reeves on there, and I went, how come he's not wearing glasses? Like, if he's Clark Kent, right? And then I said something, and she's just like, what? Like, what do you mean Clark Kent? And I was like, well, because he's not Superman. Like, he's not in his... So he's Clark Kent, but he's not wearing his glasses. And I think I was like 4 or 5. But like, of course, like, my brain is just like, what? Like, if he's Clark Kent, why does he have glasses? And if he's not glasses, then why does he have Superman suit? Why? And she's just like, well, it's a movie. And I was like, well, yeah, it's a movie. But she's like, yeah, but he's playing a different character. And I went, and she's like, because the actor's name is Christopher Reeve. And she's slowing down because I guarantee my face is going like,
just drop it.
And then I went, Superman's not real. And I just start fucking crying. Like, Superman's not real. And I run like to my bedroom. And weirdly enough, I grab my Superman stuffed animal and I'm like, you're not real. And I'm crying into him. And she's just like, she told me later, like years later, because I barely recall this, but she told me later, she's like, I felt so bad because, like, it looked as if I punched you in the face, you know? I should have said at the time, well, you punched me in the heart, which is far worse, Mom.
Way worse.
Way worse. But of course,
you took it away from me.
I wasn't thinking of that. And also, that wouldn't have been the perfect, it wouldn't have been funny to say that, right? But yeah. So
man.
So when, of course, the subject of whether or not Santa Claus was real or not, I didn't give a fuck at that point.
Yeah.
Because who cares? Superman's not real.
Superman's fake.
If Superman's not real, then
fuck all these fictional characters.
But no, I full on just like, he's not real, like ugly, like she said, like I couldn't do anything to get you to stop crying.
Oh man.
I eventually
That's great.
I let you like cry yourself to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, and then when I woke up, then she broke it down and explained that no, he's not real, and it's all just make believe, and it's just, you know, but it's still good, you know, and it's still like.
Is that when you went to the TV and went, well, at least Batman's still real?
No.
Put on some Adam West.
At that point, well, no, see, I never watched Adam West when I was a kid, like at that age.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I moved into the city and we got cable.
See,
was before that. Sorry, we didn't get cable. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
A friend of my mom's lived down the street. And she was an older woman.
Okay. And
she had cable, and she said, like, anytime the kids want to come by and watch TV. So of course that was when I first watched the Adam West Batman, and I remember just being like, "What the hell is this?" Yeah. I think I was like 9 or 10, and I was like, "I've never." Like, again, my brain was just like, hey, well, he's fat, and it's not an armor, it's not Michael Keaton. Like, what is this? It's in the 60s? It's a joke? And then, of course, I'm watching. I was like, it's actually pretty good for what it is.
I remember watching the movie all the time, Batman the movie. But I never knew it was a TV series till later on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think I've talked about this once or twice in previous episodes, but the stupidest thing I probably thought was that Jaws lived in the water well under our house in the country, and I was in the basement, and I always thought Jaws was going to jump through the floor and eat me.
I forgot all about that.
Because I was like, wait, I'm safe. I'm not near water. And I was like, we're on water. I'm in the basement.
So you were already worried about Ghost Shark before Ghost Shark was
Exactly.
a fucking thing.
Exactly.
All the trailers for Ghost Shark. Oh my god. Puddle of water, shark comes out of it. And that must have been the scariest movie ever for you.
It was. It was
You
horrifying.
must have just been like, honey, I can't even finish watching this.
Great. You've ruined lakes and my bedroom, Dad. Thank you. Okay, a couple more. What did you eat for breakfast today?
Protein shake.
Whoa! Very
Because
nice.
I had a dentist appointment at 11:30.
Yes.
And I worked at the office today. Normally I would go home for lunch. But I couldn't, so I was like, you know what, I'll have a protein shake.
Protein shake?
Yeah.
Nice. I had an apple and a yogurt. That's that question.
Yeah.
What are the biggest red flags in a guy? Oh, this is a serious question.
Biggest red flag in a guy?
Pretty much if they're not us, that's a red flag.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Green flags all over here.
Green flags all around.
Everyone
right here.
else, red flags. I would say, you know what? For me, because in 20 years I'm going to be outing myself as a homosexual.
For the people just signing on.
For a callback from a later comment.
Yeah.
I would say, first and foremost, a red flag would be that feeling in your gut. Like if you're with a guy, a girl too, whatever the case may be, and it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
That I think is a red flag.
That's a red
There's
flag
something
right
about them that you can't pinpoint, but it doesn't feel right. That's a red flag.
100%.
That's a red flag.
Yeah. If you get that feeling, just don't even go any further.
Yeah, don't even try to muscle through that feering. Just trust your judgment, your gut, and just go, you know what? I don't know. Like,
that's coming from experience, and that's coming from
because
all of us. My brother, you know, like as soon as you mention that feeling, then that's your red flag. That's your first red flag.
Yeah, exactly.
So if it doesn't feel right, but if everything feels right, then go for it. Yeah,
but any guy that says they're politically a centrist, that's code. That is code that they're a hardcore Republican or a conservative. Like they'll say, oh, you know, look at both sides. What they really mean is, I'm just saying that because if I have a conservative or Republican on my dating profile, I'm not going to get as many hits.
Not as many hits, no.
But
not as many swipes.
Yeah, I would say the gut feeling one is a good one.
That's a good one.
How many times have you not followed that gut and then went, fuck me?
And I also think if this relates to the person, see what kind of relationship they have with their mother and their family. But more their mother. That usually gives you a good idea of how the man...
I agree to an extent.
To a degree.
Yeah,
to a degree.
Because like you could use that argument and then like for me... and go,
right, but your case would be grandmother.
Yeah, but also your parents too.
Yeah,
yeah. There's ways because, like, I mean, I'm a sweetheart to your mom.
Oh, you're just a sweetheart, though.
I am.
I know. Shucks.
But yeah, no, I agree. Like, another good one is how they treat people that can benefit them, like doesn't benefit them, like waitress, like wait staff, servers, things like that.
Yep.
Just anybody that won't benefit them in any way, shape, or form. If they're super nice to the guy that's going to make them money, but they're really shitty to the waiter, no.
Screw them.
Because eventually, at some point, you're not going to bring any value to them.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna show you their true colors.
100%.
You know. Yeah, that's a good question. I got one more. Listen to people too, because they will tell you who they are.
Exactly.
And when they tell you who they are, listen and take stock.
Yep.
Be aware. Always be aware.
I think, you go on a date with someone, you should ask as many questions as you can. You really should.
You really should.
Get to know them, because that's how you're going to know.
Yeah, exactly. So to recap,
I mean, they won't know anything about you because they couldn't ask you any questions. But that's for the second date.
Yeah.
We had a viewer and they left. They didn't like my answer, motherfucker. Motherfucker.
You know what it was, eh? It was the second I said centrist. They're like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
I am out.
You son of a bitch.
How dare you?
You son of a bitch.
How dare you know the tricks?
Yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Questions are serious. When are you going to review Turbo Kid?
Oh, you know what? We should do that soon because I've never seen it.
You've never seen Turbo Kid?
I know.
I know this has probably come from one of the guys from High Def Ninja because they know how much I love the movie.
You know what? Soon.
All right.
Let's do that soon.
Soon.
Why not? Let's do that in the next one.
You want to push Sky Captain again?
I didn't want to push Sky Captain in the first place, but I think you pushed it because you didn't see it.
I've seen Sky Captain many times.
When's the last time you seen it?
Probably 3 years ago.
That's why.
3 years ago.
That's why.
That's why.
Well, it's up to you because I'm all in for Sky Captain.
Okay, well let's do
Let's
Sky
set it
Captain.
to stone right now. Sky Captain and then Turbo Kid.
And then Turbo Kid. And if any superhero movies come out, they can wait.
Well,
what's coming out? Shazam?
Yeah. So that's gonna wait anyway.
I can wait.
That's not high priority.
That can wait.
In fact, the only movie that's high priority for me right now is John Wick 4. And that's coming up.
That's coming up. I can't believe it's 3 hours though. It's nuts.
That's why I think that the reports of them doing a 4 and a 5.
This is it.
Because they stopped talking about 5.
Yeah.
They definitely stopped talking about 5. So I think that they're quietly saying that this is the last one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a nice little run coming up here. I got Scream 6 next week and then John Wick 4 coming up. Oh, yeah. Cocaine Bear. I gotta watch that still.
Sorry?
Cocaine Bear.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta watch that.
We gotta
watch Cocaine Bear.
We watched Violent Night in the theater.
Yeah.
We better watch Cocaine Bear soon because it's going to be out.
Yeah.
It's getting savaged by the critics, but it's like, what the fuck did you expect?
Yeah, but audience reviews are huge.
Wow.
Like, I mean,
they went in there thinking this is just going to be a bullshit fucking fun movie.
It's a bear that does cocaine and then rips people to shit.
At no point in time was the audience thinking that this is going to be some highbrow, like, Sir Anthony Hopkins and Sir Ian McKellen and Sir Patrick Stewart. Has Patrick Stewart been knighted yet? I don't think so. But regardless, he should be.
Yeah, he probably is.
But anyway.
I mean, it's got to be. It's got to be.
Is that it?
That's
is that
it.
all?
That is the Insta question.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Ant-Man, Quantumania. Okay.
Quantumania.
So, obviously released 2023.
That's this year.
Once again directed by Peyton Reed.
Mm-hmm.
This time written by Jeff Loveness, who's been making the rounds as of late. Writer for Rick and Morty.
Yep.
And what else has he done?
Another sitcom too, right? Was it another sitcom too?
I'm looking right now, and notable work is literally just Jimmy Kimmel Live, Rick and Morty, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then of course the Avengers: The Kang Dynasty.
How did he land this gig? That's crazy.
He did some stuff on The Office. Oh, he was an actor. He was in an episode of The Office.
Oh.
Onion News Network as a writer.
Okay.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, the Primetime Emmy Awards, a couple of those. Miracle Workers, and then of course Rick and Morty.
Okay. Right.
Before I go further though, while I was surprised that they switched writers, the tonal shift isn't as drastic as I thought it would be.
No, it's not.
There is a shift, yes, but not. It's a perfect complement to that handful of movies. Yeah. That trilogy is a very solid trilogy. Mm-hmm. Obviously starring Paul Rudd, who returns as Scott Lang / Ant-Man. We've got Evangeline Lilly returning as Hope Van Dyne / Wasp.
Mm-hmm. Jonathan
Majors as Kang the Conqueror, and also the standard of this fucking movie. He was so good in this movie.
I watched Lovecraft Country.
I think it's Country.
2 years ago. And he blew me away. And he fucking blew me away. And right after the show ended, they said he was going to play Kang. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I was hearing like good things about him. But I was, and of course Kang, and I was like, okay, all right. But I mean, it all depends on how they do Kang, right? And we'll get to that. But First of all, I've already kind of spoiled it. He's a standout. He is the standout, and definitely made me 100% go perfect. This is going to be a great fucking villain to follow up on Thanos. This is going to be great. Okay? Obviously, I seen him in Loki, but he's not playing the same character.
No, it's a different version.
Yeah. Okay, and let's get back to... Now we've got Catherine Newton as Cassie Lang. They don't call her Stature, but she's Stature.
She's Stature.
Yep. I know that there was some little bit of shit going on because they didn't cast the original one.
Yeah, well, they've had a different casting in every movie.
Yeah, but
people were upset that the one from
Endgame
wasn't
the same one. That was the big one that they were upset by. And I mean, I agree, but I thought Catherine Newton was also a standout in this.
Yeah,
she was also really good.
Yeah.
The sly David Dastmalchian, while he was Kurt in the previous two, plays Veb in this one.
Yep.
The slime-like creature who injects people with their goo.
He's also obsessed with holes.
Very obsessed with holes.
Yeah.
But, then we've got Katie O'Brien as Jentora, who was fucking badass.
Fuck yeah.
I also liked that she was jacked in this movie.
Yeah.
I thought that was refreshing. I was like, oh shit, she is a badass.
She is jacked.
We've got William Jackson Harper as Quaz, and for those of you who don't know, it's Chidi from The Good Place.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see him.
I yelled out, Chidi!
Chidi!
Yeah, Chidi! And I was super happy to see him.
Yeah.
We've got Michelle Pfeiffer returning as Janet Van Dyne, the original Wasp.
Yep.
We've got a couple of... Oh, actually, you know what? I'll backtrack for that. We've got Michael Douglas returning as Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a brief cameo from Randall Park, who, as we all know, Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, it was so brief.
And Greg Turkington as the Baskin-Robbins store manager, Dale, which I was pumped to see him. I was like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, let's go back. So the first spoiler... It's kind of a spoiler. Most people know, but I forgot he was in it. Bill Murray as Lord Krylar.
Yes.
Okay.
He's in the trailer.
He's in the trailer, but I actually didn't watch too much of the trailer. So for me, when I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He's in this movie, right?
Yep.
And I think it was smart. Oh no, I did see him in the trailer. That's right. But I immediately forgot. But they didn't talk about him as much because, of course, the shit that's going on with him right now. And most people at a certain age, when they realize, I can't just do whatever I want. What?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And finally, Corey Stoll returns as Darren Cross / MODOK.
I am Darren. See how I grabbed the
I know,
shirt with MODOK on it?
I was
it's
like,
the only one I could find with MODOK.
Mechanized orgasm
MODOK.
designed only for killing. Now, for me personally, the fact that MODOK was in this movie was going to be a huge surprise until I saw the memes that were already spread out. And I was like, oh, is he actually in the movie? I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Thanks, everyone.
But then, when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, this was actually awesome.
It's a very cool way to do MODOK.
And I like, again, spoilers, that it's a one and done.
It's a one and done. It really is. Because he falls an Avenger.
Brothers. I was like, oh my God, this is so funny.
His little hand.
But what I liked is they did a pretty good job of making an obviously joke character.
Yes.
Be a joke character, but still, like, when he's going after Cassie, you're not like, this is a joke character. You're like, he's going to fucking kill her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's going to fucking kill her. Plus, they were smart because they had him look like, his normal face.
Yeah.
But then they had the helmet, I want to say, or just
that
encasing.
looked like the comic book face.
That looked demonic. And I was like, oh shit. Like, that was really cool. And I was also really surprised, like, when they did the flashbacks and show, I was like, oh fuck. What a great way to tie him into this movie.
We got to see his little butt cheeks.
That's right. We did get to see his little butt cheeks. Are you sure you're not going to come out in 20 years?
Who knows?
All right. So we're dealing with a budget of $200 million.
Yep.
Made $369 million.
Is that what's that already?
That's where it's at right now. But let me just double check with box office.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? Like that's pretty much in line with most of their movies.
Because I mean,
yeah, 369.
Every Ant-Man was around the half bill mark, I guess.
Yeah, actually, we'll go through the list.
So this is going to lose a lot of its it's just theaters, I guess, the screens.
So
once Shazam opens,
Ant-Man made 519.
Okay.
And then Ant-Man and the Wasp. That one made less, I have a feeling.
Really?
No, it made more, 622.
Okay, I was going to say it's got to be more.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, this is going to be. It's hard to say. There's a lot of competition coming up.
Well, that's part of it. You know what the surprising part though is that like nobody was shitting all over Thor: Love and Thunder.
Don't even get me started on these reviews.
Like,
how is this the second?
63% Rotten Tomatoes, 57% Metacritic. And just for the sake of argument, let's go with Rotten. So the audience score for Thor: Love and Thunder is 77%. Okay. So then we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp. So 48% on the tomato meter.
Oh.
But the audience score, 83%.
That is brutal. There's no way in hell this movie is as bad as critics are saying. No way. There's no way that this is on, like, there beside the Eternals.
I've read some of the reviews, and one of them skewered it. Like, it was literally like, oh my God, were you paid to hate this movie?
Yeah.
And that was the one that pointed out the quantum realm from Ant-Man 2 that I pointed out to you.
Okay.
Yeah. It was one of those where they were like, and not only that, like, you know, she helped him navigate at the end of Ant-Man 2.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So of course, so it's weird that she would be like, yeah, no, cool. I'll help you navigate the quantum realm, and not even mention you might run into this douchebag that I helped out. Turns out he's kind of a fucking asshole.
Right.
But you know, and I had literally led a rebellion against him. No big deal. No big deal.
Yeah. I mean, that is strange. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well,
after you said that, I was like, okay, that's stupid. But I don't think it really takes away from my enjoyment.
It doesn't. It doesn't for me. Like, no. In fact, for me, I was literally like, yeah, but you know what? You could argue that she thought, like, when she left, right? Because maybe she didn't realize how much time had passed.
Right.
So when she came back and she's like, oh shit, time has passed. Well, now she's getting back into her life, you know, and maybe she's thinking, well, maybe one of the revolutionaries dealt with him. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe they got lucky, they killed him or whatever. And what about post-traumatic stress disorder?
Mm-hmm.
She could have been suffering PTSD, right? So, you know, and I mean, we're supposed to forget this stuff so that we enjoy the next movie anyway. Right. You know? Because if they really wanted us to point that out, they would have had her say something along the lines of, oh, I just assumed you wouldn't run into him, or I thought we had damaged him enough, or whatever the case may be, right? But no, it does not take away from my enjoyment at all in this movie. I was in at about the halfway mark, half hour mark. I remember thinking to myself, holy shit, this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I was thoroughly enjoying myself.
At no point in time did my mind wander. In fact, if anything, I was just kind of like, where's this gonna go? What are they gonna do? What's this? And then towards the end, I started like calling shit, and I should have just shut my mouth. Yeah,
I mean, I was doing that too in my head, but
I wasn't like analyzing it. I was just like, like, or you see this, and like, you said something that struck me, and I was like, yeah, you're totally right. Like, you were like, it's basically a cartoon.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah. It is basically a cartoon, you know? It's funny because, like, out of all the movies, this was the one that had the most polish for the CGI.
It really did.
Like, the one scene where, at the end of the movie, where Kang gets pulled into the thing or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
That was the only part that I was like, that's a little shitty. That CGI right there is a little shitty.
But even then, it was a lot better. Like, Thor had bad looking shit, and Doctor Strange had that fucking god awful eye.
I love how everyone is like, the CGI in Doctor Strange was terrible, and the only thing that they reference is the eye. It's like,
well, that's all I say is bad look because the rest of it looked
but
good.
I mean,
yeah,
I don't hate the movie because of that one fucking eye.
no, I mean it looked awful, but I don't hate the movie.
It did look awful, but
Moon Knight looks fucking awful.
Oh, Moon Knight.
So like,
and Thor. Oh,
for
God.
this to look, but apparently this was shooting at the exact same time as Thor. I think both of them were shooting at the same time.
Yeah.
So this had a lot more time to get polished.
I mean, whatever. Like, honestly, I've always been a big fan of the Ant-Man series. I've liked all three.
Mhm.
Actually, you know what's funny? I think 2's the only one I didn't see in the theater.
You didn't see 2 in the theater?
No, that's right. I did. I seen all 3 in the theater. That's right, because we
We've watched all 3 of them.
All 3 in the theater.
We've watched all 3 in the theater.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this has always been one of those ones where it's like you don't expect much from it because they were always positioned at the end. They were always like a palate cleanser at the end of a phase. I completely forgot that this was the start of phase 5.
This is the kickoff.
You know? And man, what a great movie.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Such a good movie. I don't know. I fucking don't know what the critics are talking. Luckily, 83% of fans got their heads out of their asses.
Yeah. Well, they're not paid off by Snyder and DC.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right? I mean, I don't know. I was watching it the whole time I was watching. I just kept thinking, I don't hate anything about this.
Yeah, like if
I was laughing, it was visually incredible. People are talking like, "Oh, the quantum realm looks like garbage. It looks like puke in the sky. Like there's no fucking flow to anything." I was like, "It's a different universe. Have you been to a different universe? How do you know what it would look like?"
I actually loved the creativity.
I did too.
Like they went bonkers with the designs for a lot of the creatures. Veb looked crazy.
Yep.
You know, but even the concept where it was like biomechanical. Like the rocket ships were alive.
Yeah.
But they were also houses.
Yeah.
So they were alive. They were rockets. They were houses. They were also weapons.
Yep.
You know, like it was seriously a feast for the eyes for me. Like
It
I
really
was. Like, I can't get. Like I'm so glad that I saw this in the theater. Like,
me too.
Aside from the last 2, I'm happy I saw them in the theater. But if I watched this on my TV, I would have been like, "Fuck, man!"
No, this is a big screen movie, though. You don't have to see it in 3D. The 3D was not that great.
No, I agree.
Very, very little 3D.
You didn't have to see it in 3D at all. But I'm glad I saw it in the theater. It was great. Like it's funny because we were talking about this. We talked about it with especially with Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
And then we revisited it with Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, where we were like, Thor needed an extra 20 minutes to a half an hour.
Right. Black
Panther didn't need, you know? Like, I thought about it more and more, and I realized what they were doing with Riri was what they did with Peter Parker in Civil War.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is that they hinged a lot of the plot on Riri, as opposed to with Peter, it was just, we introduce Peter, we have him, you know, paraphrase, with great power comes great responsibility. We all fall in love with him right away.
Yeah.
We're like, that's fucking Peter Parker.
Yeah.
That's fucking Spider-Man, right? Yeah. Oh, fuck. And then we see him in the actual, in Berlin, and we're like, that's fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Like, are you kidding me? This is fucking Spider-Man. But he's gone. That's it.
Yeah, that's
He's
it.
in the movie like 5, maybe 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? But it was just enough. Like, oh, right? It was too much with her in it. And we said ad nauseum at Black Panther 2, her entire plot line and not Coulson, Ross.
Yes.
Ross and Valentina. All that entire plot line could have been removed completely.
And changed nothing.
You do a couple of tweaks.
Couple tweaks.
But and then you shaved off about 20 minutes to half an hour. And I think Wakanda Forever would have been incredible.
Yeah.
Because you'd have been like,
it was too long. Thor was too short. This was a perfect length.
But the one thing that both those 2 movies were missing for me was when I got out of Ant-Man, I was jazzed. Like I was like, whoo!
Yeah.
I feel great. Like, I
Yeah.
feel really good about this. Like, I'm like, oh, ho, ho. I didn't feel like that. Obviously, I was not. With Thor: Love and Thunder,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, after the trailers, I was going into this like, this is gonna be fucking brutal. But at Black Panther 2, I was like, now, I mean, the way they ended it was a more somber ending. So
Yeah.
obviously, you weren't gonna come out there like, yeah, fucking Chadwick dead. You know, like they memorialized him. It was
Yeah.
amazing. No, so they ended it a little bit differently. But even like Doctor Strange 2, the way it ended, I wasn't like, yeah. I was like, okay, this is I kind of want to see where this goes. But Ant-Man, I walked out like, fucking right. That's a superhero movie.
Ant-Man, I walked out and went, this is my favorite movie since No Way Home.
Yeah, and we did the same thing. You and I both were just like, yep, boom.
This
It
is
was
the best
No Way
MCU
Home,
movie since No Way Home.
and then you've got Ant-Man 3.
Yep.
And I mean, it's sad that it's not going to make money.
No. Well, I mean, not much.
I mean, if it breaks even, I'll be surprised. As much as I hate to say it,
But the reviews aren't helping.
but that's the thing.
But I'm almost saying, like, people are getting so tired of the MCU now that they're just taking it out on Ant-Man.
But I also think part of it is the way that, like, Kevin Feige should do things a little bit differently. Like, the lead up to Ant-Man or no, Endgame and Infinity War, they were telling us you have to watch all these movies.
Yeah.
You have to watch all these movies, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then in Phase 4, it was the same thing. We got to watch all these TV shows.
Yeah.
And you got to watch all these movies.
Yeah.
What they should be doing now is there should be, like they used to do, like they do in comic books, where they're like, in this event,
Mm-hmm.
you need to read these comics
Yeah.
to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
If you don't, okay, fine, but you're going to miss some of the story.
Right.
Checklist. So in this case, they should go, okay, so for Phase 5, this is what you need to do. You need to watch Loki.
Yeah. You
need to watch Ant-Man Quantumania. And every movie after that, leading into Kang Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But you don't need to watch WandaVision. You don't need to watch, like, if you want Captain Marvel, like the Marvels.
Yep.
Okay, watch WandaVision. You know, if you really want to, or just Google it.
Yeah, or Google it.
Or just Google it, really.
Go on YouTube, get a fucking 20-minute rundown.
So, like, it's because there's so much of that movie backlog and TV backlog that it is daunting for people.
Yeah.
You know, like Michelle never watched any of the Ant-Man movies, didn't want to watch this one. So, of course, I come home and I'm like, it's awesome. It's so great. And her sister watched Ant-Man 3 and was like, it was great. It was awesome. And I did the same thing I did with your dad with her. And I said, like, and you found the plot okay, right? Like, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the reviews that I saw, they were like, they felt like the multiverse stuff was like too hard to grasp and stuff like that. And when your dad was like, no, I understood everything.
He didn't get confused until those mid-credit scenes.
And
he was like, okay, now I'm confused. What's going on?
And then as soon as I explained it, he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
There's a million different timelines, and this is that guy from all of them.
Yeah, they just band together because the Avengers are dipping their toes into multiverse. They're like, no, they don't. I don't want them to take it away from us.
Yeah,
they want all that power. And he went, okay,
mm-hmm.
All right, and that was it. And even she, who's not even remotely comic book, barely watches any of the movies, has watched a few here and there.
Yep.
She was like, yeah, I had no issues with it at all. So I don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't understand it at all.
Like
at all. How in the fucking hell does this have a worse reviews?
I had a conversation with I guess I could say co-worker. Like he works for one of the insurance companies. Like he's one of the bosses, right?
Okay.
Richard Godin, right there. And going into Ant-Man, like I said, like I was gonna watch Ant-Man,
mm-hmm.
and both of us, like even I was saying, like I'm worried that we're now getting into territory that's too comic booky. Right? Like it's easy for you and I to go, oh, multiverse and clones and you know, who's worthy, who's not, you know. But for average comic book fans or average comic book movie watchers, like Marvel watchers, when all they do is just watch the movies. They might watch some of the TV shows. They might not even watch all the movies. You know, they don't have decades of built-in comic book knowledge where you could sit there and go, oh, well, you know, because the Council of Reeds and the Kangs and the, you know, Kang is actually the descendant of the Reed Richards, and right? But if you know that stuff, you're super cool. Then they watch this movie and they go, or they feel like they got to do homework before they watch this movie, right?
Right.
And again, like I said,
that just sucks the fun out of a movie.
Exactly. And like I said, too, before, up until this point, it was almost required watching.
Yeah.
Right? But like I said, like Ant-Man 3 reminded me immediately of Avengers, where if you watched Avengers, like if you watched Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, and of course the Hulk, but technically not.
Yeah. Wow.
And then watched Avengers, you were like, Avengers, fucking rights. But if you didn't watch any of those movies and watched Avengers, you wouldn't be like, who the fuck are these characters?
Yeah.
You would go, okay, so Captain America from before days, World War II era, super soldier. Okay, he's really strong. He's got a shield. He's essentially on steroids. Okay, we got the Hulk. Everybody knows who the Hulk is, but if you don't, he gets angry. He turns green. Okay, all right. Thor, God.
Yeah.
Hammer. Okay. His brother, God. Okay. Then you got billionaire philanthropist in a suit of armor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you got a redheaded spy and her buddy Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Who shoots arrows.
But
you don't really know that until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But all day long, but at the same time, within the first 40 minutes of that movie, check. You don't have to watch any of those movies to watch this. Just like you don't have to watch any of the Ant-Man movies to watch this and go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you might miss out on the fact that Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne were the original, or not Van Dyne.
Yeah,
Van Dyne. Or the original Wasp and Ant-Man. You might miss out on that.
You might miss that.
But that's a small
You might miss
thing
the fact that she just came back and no one really knows what's going on with her.
No, you wouldn't, because they explain it.
Yeah.
You know.
But
that's it.
That's it.
You know, even they briefly touch upon the fact that he was gone from the snap.
Yep.
You know. Okay, but most people watched Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Most people watched Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
So, and Infinity War, so you know about Snap. And if you haven't, you've watched enough of the movies since then to go, okay, well, you know, Thanos did that thing, and then they disappeared, but the superheroes came back, and they saved the world, blah, blah, blah. You could go in almost completely blind.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think for some people, it'd be better if you did.
Yeah.
But I think they should tell people that. They should sit there and just say, hey, look, okay, these are the movies you should watch. But I also think there should be an effort to kind of do catch up, you know?
Right.
Like even just in the old comic books where they would monologue. Oh, yeah, you know, because of this, this, and this. And then you'd see, like, editor's note. See, issue 67.
Can you imagine the movie
69.
just pauses? It's like producer's note.
Or even just right up on the screen, producer's note. Watch this, this, and this to see what we're talking about.
Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin. That's right.
Kevin.
But Kevn.
Yeah.
But yeah, like getting back to like, so special effects are some of the best I've seen in a while for a Marvel movie. You know, right up there with Black Panther 2. Black Panther 2 had almost perfect CGI.
Yeah, it really did.
Really did. Doctor Strange 2 was another one that had almost perfect CGI. So okay, check. The characters, like I said, like Jonathan Majors did not sell me as Loki on, or as Kang on Loki, even though he's like, I'm not the guy. I'm not the who shall not be named or whatever it was. But I was still intrigued by it. Like immediately I was like, okay, like there's something. I'm like, okay, all right. But this one, this Kang the Conqueror, I was like, oh man, he's so good. Like he even tries to make it seem like he's a sympathetic villain. Yeah. He's not at all.
No,
he's not at all. He just wants power. He wants, and he basically wants to fucking shove it in their faces because they exiled him.
Yeah.
So he wants to take over the multiverse and fucking rub it in their faces and run everything. And I mean, like, I love it. He's just like, look, dude, like, what are you gonna do? Like, I was playing dumb. I beat the fuck out of so many Avengers. Like, you have no idea. Like, are you the one with the hammer? He's like, I know you did. I know you're not the one with the hammer, Ant-Man. You know? The fight scene, I thought, like, the final fight scene was awesome. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, it's really weird. Like, he's, like, going toe-to-toe with Kang. But, of course, like, Kang's battle armor's, like, ripped off and stuff like that.
Now he's just a regular dude.
He's close to a regular dude,
you
know? But I love it when he's just like, I'm not trying to win. We just have to, I just want us to lose. And then I was like, oh, shit. Now, here's my controversial thing. Actually, you know what? No, hold on. Well, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I'm just going with the flow, man.
Oh, actually, no, sorry. Getting back, so Major's amazing.
Oh,
sold me on Kang.
Fuck, he's incredible.
Sold me on
he's
Kang.
Incredible.
This movie sold me on Loveness.
Yep.
For the Kang Dynasty.
Yep.
Who's directing that one?
The director of Shang-Chi.
Again, okay, so check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. Like, I think it's going to be great.
Daniel Cretton something.
I have a feeling, like I was saying to you, I have a feeling that that's also why we're getting the Secret War. And that's why it's a year between.
Mm.
So, because by the end of that, it's going to be the world is remade. And it's going to be so fucking weird and bonkers. So that Secret War will be the attempt to get it back to where it was.
Right.
So then they can also retcon some stuff.
Yeah.
So we might be able to see like Captain America back, or they've recast him. Or Iron Man, or they've recast. Or they've upped the roles for like Riri is now officially like Ironheart.
Right.
You know, things like that, right? Because by that point, her TV show will be done, right? And hopefully it does a really good job.
Yeah.
Okay. And then of course, at that point, because Feige said they're scaling back the content too, so it's not so daunting, which I agree is crazy.
Yeah, he says that, and then I'm looking at him like, it looks like a ton of content. So, I mean, you still got that Agatha TV series.
That's why I'm saying that he should say things like, if you want to know everything about the Kang Dynasty, watch these movies.
Watch this.
And watch these TV shows. Okay?
But then people are going to skip Agatha.
Okay. Look, I love Catherine Hahn.
Oh, me too.
And I loved Agatha.
Me too.
But I never once was like, I want to see a full TV show.
Wait, just because this works on the show doesn't mean she should have her own show. There is a million fucking Marvel characters.
Exactly. I wasn't even saying like, you know what? Yeah, I could sit through 2 hours of her.
Yeah.
I was like, I probably could.
I mean, I probably could too.
You know, but it's not on my go-to list.
I'm after Phase 4. Phase 4 was fucking hard to get through sometimes. After Phase 4, I'm just like, you know what? I'm only going to watch what I'm really interested in now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I can't watch these fucking 10 hours of TV shows every fucking month.
No.
Just so I might know this fucking guy in the background in a future movie.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, guys, like, really, if you don't want to go through that backlog, Google, Wikipedia, watch YouTube videos. You know what I mean? Like, but I do think they should make an effort to say, these are the movies you should watch. You don't have to, but you should.
Mm-hmm.
And also make it a little bit more fun, too. Because I had fun with this movie, but there was stakes
so much fun.
to it. Super, like, there was stakes.
There really was.
It felt like anything could happen.
I really thought that Ant-Man and Wasp were stuck there at the end.
So did I.
I kind of wish they were.
So do I.
Because then she could have grew a stature. The Young Avengers could have came together. She could have brought her dad back in the King Dynasty.
Or, because this is the start of Phase 5, they kill off Ant-Man.
Kill off Ant-Man. Mm-hmm.
He still does the whole, you know, I just want to see you. We just have to lose.
Yep.
That whole thing, because that was awesome, you know. But I also think it would be kind of bittersweet because, like, I saw an interview with Paul Rudd on, oh, fuck, I just forgot the British show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. What's his name?
I literally watched it.
He's got the greatest interviews, too.
But anyway, he literally sat there and said, because remember, I was like, I'm kind of like, I don't like the fact that he stopped being a superhero.
Yeah.
And the way he described it was, well, you know, like he became Ant-Man. Then the Infinity War happened.
Mm-hmm.
Then they snapped and he was gone. And like he did Ant-Man 2, and then he was in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
And he came back, helped save the world. right?
Yep.
So he's now taking a break. He's just like, okay, I can, I got the books and I got my daughter back, so I can get back those years that I lost with her and be a father again.
Yep.
Because that's all he's ever wanted, was to be a father, right? And that's where his headspace was. So I was like, okay, that's a better explanation instead of just, I don't be a superhero anymore.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm just not going to do that, right? Because like some of them, like Spider-Man, for instance, like he has to be a hero.
Mm-hmm.
He has to help people, even if his entire life is in shambles because he's Spider-Man. He still has to go out there. It's just Captain America, same thing. Anyway, but I think it would have been crazy that so he goes, okay, I'm in, and then we have to lose, and at the last second, Kang kills him. And then, of course, Cassie's like, he killed my dad, right? That would have been a huge gut punch.
Yeah.
And that would have really set the stage.
Hell, they could have had Wasp come in just to see him and Kane go through that portal. And then she's going to go back and break it to Casey that your dad's not coming back.
Yeah, even something like that.
That would have been a tearjerker.
Yeah, but either way, if the rest of this phase goes like this, because like,
next up is Guardians, and that's going to be fucking amazing.
Oh God, it looks so good.
Oh,
it looks so good. Well, I guess what I'm kind of getting at is like, I was refreshed with the fact that there wasn't like this fucking god awful need to make a joke like every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, it was a funny movie because they're all funny movies.
Yeah.
And because it's Paul Rudd.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like, the jokes in it were sprinkled in to break up tension and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like, okay, I get it. You have to, it's got to be funny. It's got to be funny. Because I started going into this thinking, like, most of these movies now are going to be made for kids.
Yeah.
Instead of comic book fans.
Yeah.
They were made for comic book fans and then kids. And then, of course, general population.
Yeah.
But those are the two focuses, right? And then, like, phase 4, it seemed like they shifted without telling us and be like, yeah, everything's going to be made for kids now. I mean, don't get me wrong. They should be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to sell toys.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
The creator's only going to buy so much, but you want your kids to buy them so that they break them, and then you have to buy more.
Yeah.
Right? But, and I thought, okay, fuck, man. So I was going in low expectations, pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking amazing. But I do think they should have killed him, or at least, like you said, taken him off the board to up the stakes for.
I definitely feel like someone should have died at the end.
I was surprised no one did, except for Kang.
Like, Janet seemed the most obvious. Hank seemed obvious, saving Janet.
Yeah. But towards the end, I thought, oh my God, they're gonna. First one, I thought they're gonna leave him. Scott Lang.
Yeah.
In the quantum realm, I thought, holy fuck, right?
Yep.
And then, of course, like you said, with Hope, and then I was like, oh shit, they're both going to be stuck there? That'd be crazy. And then, no.
Mm-hmm. And it's just beep.
But even, like, the ending when he was like, oh, maybe this is what, and he was doing that thing like, maybe Kang was right. Maybe we shouldn't have, then Kang comes up and kills him. Whoo! And then scene cut.
Yeah.
Credits. That was my envisioning, where that's where,
really?
Like, right there, he comes out and he fucking kills him, and you're just like, holy shit! And then there's credits, you're like, oh, now I want to watch everything. But
yeah, because saying that Kang is like on the same level as Thanos after this is hard to believe.
Well, and that's
Ant-Man went toe to toe with him. Ant-Man.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, granted, he had an entire army to help him.
Yep.
We're talking like fucking incredibly advanced biomechanical ants.
Yeah. Oh, those ants are so cool.
Oh man,
that scene was awesome.
Oh man,
the ants.
Oh man, but then and everything, the entire rebel army, the like we said, the fucking ship / tower / humans.
Yep.
Or life forms or whatever. It was all just like crazy cool. But you're right. Like, I thought that would be my only gripe with this movie, is that he came off thinking like, okay, this Kang, because they make you think that this is the Kang that's going to be in Kang Dynasty.
Right.
But now you're like, okay, well, I got to watch Loki season 2, because it seems like that's going to be the Kang that they're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But I read like on Wikipedia, that's based on the comic books too. So he's actually he's a Kang, but he's in a small city and he's doing experiments and stuff there. It's really weird. So I don't know which of those Kangs are actually going to be the actual official bad guy Kang.
I read a rumor that Egyptian Kang that they introduced at the end is going to be the villain of Moon Knight 2.
Okay. I hope not, because I don't want to watch Moon Knight 2.
I don't want to watch Moon Knight 2 either.
You know?
It looks like Jonathan Majors is going to be freaking busy, though, for a few years.
I mean...
He's going to be busy.
We have to build him up, so...
Yep.
You know? But even still, if he's going to be the bad guy I mean, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, like, they're going to use all these other Kangs to build up to who the eventual big Kang is.
Yeah.
You know? But I would have assumed that Kang the Conqueror would have been the one.
They call him the Conqueror.
Yeah. Like, and that's, so when I heard that...
He looks like Kang the Conqueror.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even touch upon that. He looked fucking amazing.
Oh, he was straight off the comic book page.
My favorite was, like, first they had, like, the actual scarring.
Yeah, yeah.
So that... But then when he had his helmet on and the blue light hit, I was like, shit, that's 100% comic accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't have to do that. And I was still just like, this is crazy. But wow. Wow.
I don't know.
Oh,
fuck, it looked good.
Man, he looked so good. I'm pumped. Like, honestly, I'm pumped. I'm in.
Well, I don't believe this Conqueror is dead.
I don't think so either.
That portal got him out of the quantum realm, though.
Yeah, I don't think he's dead.
No.
But at the same time, the others did say he was dead. They made a point of saying, like, I wouldn't have said anything if he wasn't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens in the... Well, I mean, what's next for sure is it's Loki. Well, Guardians, but that's not going to have any ties to this.
For TV? Well, yeah, Loki's going to be the next.
Loki, and
season
that's
2.
when...
Is season 2 this year? What is this year for the shows?
Well, Echo at some point.
Echo, yeah. Okay.
Marvel TV shows.
Gotcha.
2023. Okay, so... But yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. So Loki. Then there's What If.
Oh,
Moon
okay.
Girl and Devil Dinosaur. So none of these are like you have to watch.
I think that's just cartoon shorts too.
Oh man, you don't actually have like a list of a schedule, but
Really?
Let's see here. Because I would have thought for sure that Loki would be 100% next.
Let's see what's.
Apparently, Secret Invasion and the second season of Loki
Right, Secret
are the
Invasion.
only shows due out in 2023.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that makes no sense because Echo should be.
Season 2 for Loki is this year too.
Yeah.
Ironheart's this year.
I was gonna say, yeah, Ironheart for sure is this
Echo
year.
is this year.
Yeah.
Agatha is this year.
Oh yeah.
And Secret Invasion. So we got 5 TV shows this year. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting Kraven the Hunter's actual thing.
I forgot that was a thing too.
So Secret Invasion is spring 2023. And then Loki season 2 is summer 2023.
Okay.
All right.
I definitely like Loki season 1 was incredible. That's one of my favorite MCU
Ironheart
shows.
fall 2023. X-Men 97.
Oh, X-Men 97's this year.
Echo
too.
is late 2023. I heard it was going to be more of a winter thing.
Isn't Spider-Man the freshman year coming up too? Or maybe that's 2024.
Agatha, Covenant Chaos, winter 2023, but Stanley documentary, unknown, but apparently sometime 2023. Ooh, Spider-Man 2, fall 2023. I think that's going to be pushed back.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2? Or is it talking Spider-Verse 2?
No, Spider-Man 2, the video game.
The video game. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Spider-Verse 2 is out in June.
I can't wait for that.
Oh, me neither.
Cannot wait for that.
So, yeah, I think basically for me personally, what I'm going to suggest is pick and choose what you watch, for sure.
Yep.
But like the superhero fatigue, I think is something. But I think Phase 4 really damaged the MCU.
It really
really
fucking did. And at first I thought it was just me and you maybe, but it seems like it's all like it's across the map. The fact that they got all these TV shows killed it. The TV shows killed it.
Yep.
It really did.
Yep.
It's too much.
Yep.
It's way too much.
Especially because, like I said, they never once. I mean, obviously they want you to watch everything. I get that.
Yeah.
Right. But like, yeah, I read somewhere. Oh, yeah, James Gunn. James Gunn apparently is using the Star Wars model as sort of a basis for how he wants to do the DC movie universe.
Okay.
Okay. And if you think about it, there's not a ton of Star Wars saturation, even though it feels like you're always hearing about Star Wars.
Yeah.
But like, there's the Star Wars movies, right? Yeah. Okay. And then it's just these TV shows that are like amazing, right?
Yeah.
But like, they've only had what, 3 TV shows?
Oh, it's well over that now.
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And then you've got
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, right?
Obi-Wan,
and then Endor.
Endor. Bad Batch.
Oh, right. Yeah, Bad Batch.
I think there's one more too.
But that's
so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think yeah. Like Marvel. I mean, Phase 4 was always going to be a weird one. Like in retrospect, because of COVID and everything, it was always going to be a fucking weird one.
Yeah.
And yeah, like they fucking shot themselves in the foot.
They really did.
There's a lot of goodwill
they
wasted.
Threw too much shit at the. I don't know if Kevin just went, fuck it. Let's see what happens.
I think that's kind of what it was because they weren't building towards anything.
Yeah.
There was no build towards anything. Phase 1 was a build towards Phase 2.
Right.
But like Phase 1 was a build towards establishing Thanos as the bad guy, the big bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, fine. And then Phase 2, hammering that home.
Yeah.
Now we start seeing more of him, but just little bits here,
but
enough for you to go, okay. And then Phase 3 was hammering. Fucking bring the hammer down. All hands on deck. And everyone, the entire world was like, fucking let's see Endgame. Infinity War and Endgame. They made billions. Right? No one thought that... I never thought Endgame was going to make like $3 billion.
I fucking never thought so either.
I knew it was going to make $1 billion for sure, and I was like, it's going to comfortably do 2. It's going to be close to 3.
Infinity War did like 2.2 or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, Endgame I think is going to do a little better.
I thought like Endgame was going to be close. Like it was about 2.5.
600 million more.
2.5, 2.6.
Yeah.
I never thought it was going to be crack $3 billion.
But you know what?
It'll make $3 billion.
That final fucking fight in Endgame that made people go back and watch it over and over.
Although,
again.
funnily enough, isn't it weird that Thor didn't just imbue all the superheroes with the powers of the god, the lightning powers?
Yeah,
like he did with those kids.
When they shut Love is on Air, I was like, wait a minute, this is a thing. Why the fuck didn't he do this earlier?
And also, like, if he couldn't do it, how did he know he could do it now?
Yeah, he could have gave it all to the Asgardians, and they could have beat the shit out of Thanos on the ship.
He's been unworthy for fucking three different movies across since since Thor 2?
Yeah.
Well, no, it would have to be Thor 2. Because Ragnarok happens. Oh, it's Infinity War. Yeah, Ragnarok happens right before the Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the hammer gets destroyed. He's unworthy as of Ragnarok. That's right. So Ragnarok, Infinity War, Endgame.
Yep.
Unworthy. Love and Thunder, unworthy.
Yeah.
But he knew how to do that. And you're right. Why wouldn't he do that?
Why wouldn't he do that?
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would be shitting bricks to see Captain America whipping that hammer around.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's like, I knew it. You're like, that's cool and all, but then you collect yourself and go, oh yeah, by the way, give me the hammer for 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You're all Thors.
We got about 20 minutes before this runs out.
We are Thor.
Let's go nuts. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We are Thor, but okay. All right, fine.
Oh, yeah.
But
Man, Love and Thunder.
Oh my God. That movie would have been worse if I was trying to like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again.
No, I'm not.
No, you're done.
I
It's a one and a done.
I can't do it. It hurt to watch it.
Mm.
You know why it hurt so much?
Why?
Christian fucking Bale.
Yes.
Wasted in that movie.
Oh, definitely wasted.
Okay?
Definitely wasted. He was great in it. But again,
it's Christian fucking Bale.
Let's add another 20 minutes on and show him killing some fucking gods.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not funny enough for Taika Waititi.
Or Marvel.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know. But all in all, Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, Quantumania.
Yep.
Fucking great. I can't say enough good things about it. Like, man. And I really liked Doctor Strange 2. I really liked Doctor Strange 2. And I really liked Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I really liked that. But I'll tell you right now, I'm rewatching Ant-Man 3 first chance I get.
Oh, me too.
I'm like this close to seeing it in the theater again.
Yeah.
That's how much I thought that movie was good. You know? Because like I said, I knew I was gonna like it.
Yeah.
But I was worried that it was going to suffer the same shit that I saw in, Love and Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
And some of this stuff, like some of the narrative stuff, like I saw in Black Panther, where it's a 3-hour movie when it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And also like some of the TV shows too, where you're just like, really? Like in retrospect, while I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier, did I need that before watching Cap 4?
No.
Mm-mm. And then because Cap 4 is so far removed from the show, how much of that is actually going to be in the movie?
Right.
Like, okay, I guess Secret Invasion, I think, is where some of the stuff we're going to see. But is Secret Invasion going to be Skrulls? Or is it going to be Secret Invasion?
We assume Skrulls because it's called Secret Invasion.
I know, but could we, is it going to be something? Is it going to be like that Nick Fury Secret War?
With
Captain America and Daredevil and Spider-Man
and
Wolverine, and they had all those stealth versions of their suits. And you're just like, some of you didn't need a stealth suit.
No, I mean the paintings are cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, Gabriel Dotto, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. That was a good looking book.
But yeah. So I mean, Hawkeye. Honestly, I liked it, but did it need to be a show? No. I know you want to say yes, but no.
No, I mean that could have been a movie.
Yeah.
They all could have been movies.
Yeah.
All of them.
Even the fact that they introduced their version of Fisk.
Yeah.
Like just that alone. Okay.
But they're just all. It's all about that Disney Plus. But you know what? Disney has made it really easy for me to not buy all the movies anymore.
Yep.
So if I can't buy the TV shows, what do I care if I miss a movie?
Yep. I even as much as I hate She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Didn't necessarily need to be a TV show.
No.
But I'm glad they did it the way they did.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it was
the
half
format
an hour.
was good. The format was good.
It was a half-hour comedy show. And like I said before, I regret that I was only really watching it for Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
They should have just told me he's going to be in the last 2 episodes.
Yep.
And then that's it. And then that way I could have spent the first 6 episodes going, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like, where's that fucking Daredevil?
Oh, I know.
Where's that Matt Murdock?
Oh, this guy is fucking driving us. Show the helmet. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
He's comic shop.
Like,
oh, that's it.
And then watch the next episode going like, I don't even know why I thought.
They're at a wedding. He's just like, oh, you sons of bitches.
But those assholes did such a good job that, I mean, even if his costume is red and yellow in the Echo, I'll be okay with it.
It looked good.
It did look good.
It did look good.
It's the Daredevil Netflix show, the suit, slight modifications.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same.
It's pretty much the same.
It
looks great.
Anyone that complains about the CGI, well, dude, he's not the same Daredevil. It's not the same character. He's been powered up, so he's going to be doing some flips and shit.
Yeah.
Do you want like almost 40-year-old Charlie Cox doing flips and shit? No, you don't.
No.
So that's why we CGI.
Just be happy you got him back as Daredevil.
Yeah.
And
Vincent D'Onofrio's
yeah.
Fisk. Those are the two big ones.
Those are the big ones.
Two big ones.
I'm happy about it.
If we can get Foggy, I can't remember his name. I never forget his name.
Oh, that
Ellison or something like that.
Elden.
Yeah.
Elden
Something
Ring.
like I think so.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah. Elden Bring.
Elden Bring.
Elden Bring.
Bring
Coffee. Oh, that's lame. Lame. But if we can get Elden, like I'll say goodbye to Karen Page, Deborah Ann Wall. I'll say goodbye to her. Because I think that's too far. But if we can get her back, and obviously, what's his face, John Brenthal.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get him back. I think, because Armor Wars has apparently been turned into a movie.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Armor Wars is gonna be a movie now.
Smart move.
Led by Rhodey, but I do believe that Armor Wars is gonna have the Punisher going after the War Machine armor. I think that's what they're going to go with. I think that's what they're going to go with.
They do. And you know what? Honestly, if we get a fairly comic actor, I know how silly it is because he's got white gloves and white boots and shit. Like, he's one of those ones where I'm like, out of all the guys to have like a costume, this is not him.
Come on.
This is not him. But I sat through the Thomas Jane Punisher, where he was basically just a body, like bulletproof vest with it on. Looked awesome. And then I got through the super heavy Garth Ennis inspired War Journal. Or no, was it War? It was Warzone. Punisher Warzone. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. You guys want to watch a really shitty superhero movie? Watch that one. Even though what's his face? Ray
Stevenson was great.
He was perfect as Punisher. Like, I liked Thomas Jane as Punisher, and I would have liked if they revisited him, especially that laundromat version was
that dirty laundry.
Dirty Laundry, that's what it was.
That was so good.
But Ray Stevens was perfect.
He was perfect, but he was in a garbage movie.
Yeah, god awful.
There's very little Marvel movies not in my collection. That is one of them.
Yeah, actually, there's very few Marvel movies that I've only watched once.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it'll probably happen more now, but like I've seen it's Punisher Warzone and Ghost Rider Spirits of Vengeance. Those are the two that I've only seen once.
I think that's the other one not in my collection.
I've watched Ghost Rider itself twice.
Yep.
Because
I don't mind the first one. It's fun.
I watched the first one I was like,
it's a fun movie.
I watched the second one. I watched it again just because I was like, maybe. The second time I watched it, I was like, no, you're right, Chris. You're right. It's not that good. It's not a good representation of Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
But
visually, it looked cool.
Oh, visually, it looked awesome.
But everything else was garbage.
He didn't have gloves. He had his flame hands.
Yes,
And he gave the guy the finger.
I
didn't like that. But other than that, visually, it looked fucking incredible.
Flipping the bone.
But even in Spirits of Vengeance, he looked awesome.
Yeah.
And especially later when he got the blue flame.
I actually think he looked better in Spirits of Vengeance.
He did.
But the movie was garbage.
He did. He absolutely looked
like
better.
that darker skull with the... It just had that more gritty feel to it.
Plus, the flame technology looked better.
Yeah.
Just, all around, he was... the visual was not...
But then he had, like, Nick Cage going on a fucking acid trip for 2 hours.
Remember he was talking about pissing fire?
Yeah!
Like,
he actually does piss fire in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the fire pit scene.
So did I. I just remembered it now. It was one of those fever dreams where it just came back. And I was like, oh, that's right. And he was actually like, at first he's mimicking it, and then later the thing actually does it. You're like, are you kidding? You didn't have to. It's not like when you talk about how you saw John Wick kill somebody with a fucking pencil, and then you later show it in that movie. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see him kill people with a fucking pencil, especially when you're like,
it's fine.
When he's sitting there and it's fucking character actor, and he's like, I once saw him kill a guy with a fucking pencil, and you're like, oh. But this one, you're like, I don't need to see it.
No.
Anyway, so Ant-Man 3, Quantumania is a must-see. It's a must-see.
So good.
See it in the theater. My neighbor saw it. I recommended it. I was like, if you haven't seen it, go see it. They're like, actually, funnily enough that you mentioned that, we bought the tickets. I followed up with them. They loved it. I was like, yep.
Nice.
So,
it's great. It's great. Don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes. Watch it.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to listen to Rotten Tomatoes, listen to the crowd score.
The audience score.
Audience score. That's what I'm looking
go with
for
the audience score.
Yeah.
Look on the right side, not the left.
I mean, I'll say the positives right away. Special effects, amazing.
Yep.
The performances, amazing.
Yep.
The story, Not amazing, but really good.
Good
It doesn't
story.
require a PhD in comic book history, comicology to understand. You don't have to. It's great. It's fucking tons of fun, and there's stakes in it.
Yeah.
And it really sells Kang. I'm intrigued to see which Kang is officially the Kang, because I have a feeling we're gonna see whatever Kang is just gonna start killing other Kangs.
Yeah.
To become the one.
Yeah.
Like Highlander.
There'll be a serial killer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Highlander. Yeah.
Just like that. There can
There
only
could
be
only one.
That's right.
That'd be sweet.
As always, Geek Pantsers, we love that you come and hang out with us every couple of weeks, and we love that you send us the Insta questions. I'll tell you right now, I'm having fun answering them, so keep on bringing them.
Yeah, I'm happy I brought that back.
Yeah, me
and
too.
that people are participating.
Yeah,
and it's not just like geeky questions. Like we're getting questions like about everything.
Eventually, they're gonna ask about dick size. Don't, but actually, I'll tell you right now, it's not that much. Hold on. Around. What's it? Was that from?
Oh, wait a minute. Let me go close to the screen.
Yeah.
It's that big.
It wasn't Stifler, but it was Sean William Scott. He said, "I have an 11-inch penis around," but I don't. Was it
around?
Was it American Pie, or was it the other one that he did where they went on that cross-country trip because he cheated on his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Breckenmeyer.
Yeah.
Amy Smart's in it. What's his face? JD whatever.
I can't think of that movie name. Is it Road Trip?
It's fucking Road Trip.
It is Road Trip, right?
It is Road Trip.
It is Road
Trip. Yeah,
Trip.
because then there's Euro Trip. That's right.
Road Trip, Euro Trip.
It is Road Trip.
I think it was a Stifler thing. I think that.
Yeah, I think
around. Yeah,
but
no,
I think
it was Stifler.
It was American Pie 2. I think
Yeah.
that he said that. Yeah. But either way, fucking funny. Fucking funny. Anyway, like I said, we appreciate it. The Insta questions, keep them coming. Keep your comments coming. Keep your likes coming. Keep watching us on YouTube. Keep watching us on Twitter, on Facebook, on geekpantsmedia.com. You can hear us on Audible, Apple and Google Podcasts, and SoundCloud. I was trying to sneak that one in.
Yeah, I mean,
also see us on Instagram because I forgot. Instagram.
I got the ticker going down at the bottom there, so.
Just in case I missed something.
Spotify, Audible, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts.
I missed Spotify.
There you go.
That's the one I missed.
There, it's all right. You did good.
We got a ticker.
That's why the ticker is there.
That's why it's there.
And if you're listening to this as a podcast, well, congrats, you found us as a podcast.
And thank you for finding us as a podcast.
Thank you.
You know,
thank you.
I hear podcasts are very lucrative, so if you tell all your friends, eventually we'll start getting paid.
Yeah.
Not that that's a necessary thing, but we might institute some paywalls, so you never know.
I'd be okay.
A battle pass.
A battle pass.
A battle pass.
The Geek Pants battle pass.
Geek Pants. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So in the inaugural Camcast in the pocket, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. The pocket. In the pocket.
In the pocket.
Yeah, we're in the pocket, and the Camcast is now in the pocket.
Yeah, in the can. Oh wait, no, in the now I get it.
The pot.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah,
you should probably. Just
where are you, Solid Snake?
These pancakes are delicious.
There he is.
These pancakes are delicious.